Welcome to the Horror Hangout podcast where film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and talk about them. My name is Ben Errington, and today I'm joined by regular co-host Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. Hello, Ben. How are you?
I'm very well. How the devil are you?
I am the devil. Pretty good,
I
actually,
am
for
the
a
devil
Monday.
pretty good. I'm glad to hear it. Plus, we're joined by a very, very first time special guest. Vicky Jazz Lawrence is a Terrifier expert, film journalist, horror fanatic, and metalhead. Welcome to the show, Vicky. Hello.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor.
An
Thank you
honor.
for joining
Well,
us.
Yeah.
not many people say that when they come on this show, but I'm glad you feel that way.
No, I'm honestly over the moon to be here.
There we go. Was that a good description of you? I mean, it had to be a good description of you. It's on your Instagram, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a good description of me. I think it needs a bit of tweaking here and there now, but it's very accurate.
Yeah, how much tweaking does it need? Because you can get obsessed. I get a bit obsessed sometimes with the old bio, going, "Oh well, which needs to be first? Which is the most important?" You've put Terrifier expert right in there.
Yeah, I think that's just been given to me at this point from my friends and just people I know. It's at this point I'm a huge collector. He's my silly little guy. He's on my phone. He's my he's my lock screen on my work laptop, and to the distress of people I work with who hate clowns. Um, Not my problem. He brings me joy.
Yeah.
And he's on my shirt today. Like
Oh yes.
he's always with me.
There's an awesome Fangoria Art the Clown shirt. What is it about Art the Clown? What would you say? Has you drawn you to him so much?
I I got onto the Terrifier train when it first came out back in what was it? I want to say 2016.
Yeah.
I I hate to say this, but I legally streamed it when I was living in Cyprus. I was just a little teenager who wanted to watch a scary film and saw the poster for it, and I was like, this looks great. And ever since I was obsessed, moved to the UK, and everyone was like, "Oh, you like horror films? Give us a horror film to watch, like a really gnarly one." And I was like, "Watch Terrifier," and no one did. And
Oh.
'cause they were like, "Oh, spooky clown, it's probably like it." And I was like, "No, this is completely different."
I thought you were going to say they watched it and then never spoke to you again,
No,
potentially.
but when the second one came out and it had this mass fanfare, got the theatrical release, and everyone was like throwing up in cinemas, that's when everyone jumped on the hype train. They were like, I watched this film called Terrifier, and I was like, oh yeah, the film I recommended to you like 4 years ago.
Yeah, come on.
Um,
Get on the
I
bloody
love
Terrifier
holding
train for
people
God's
to
sake.
account. You'd be like, excuse me, let me just rewind, run this back for me, will you? Remember when I said this?
Yeah.
yeah, so it's just I'd like to say he's a part of me now. I do the dot on the nose. I have like a little clown alter ego that I do, and I would like to say he's been a huge sort of inspiration to
Mm.
that. I've done press for the third film.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Amazing.
the magazine I write for, we luckily got a cover edition for the third film, and I got to interview a few people, which was really lovely and a huge full circle moment for me,
Yeah.
looking at it all and being like, 16-year-old you would not believe this happened.
That is
So,
so cool.
Very
yeah,
cool. Yeah. It's crazy how it blew up, though, didn't it? Because obviously, I guess the first one kind of had its fans, but it didn't become super mainstream. Like now we've got Terrifier 4 coming, and also like it's being spoofed in Scary Movie in the new one, which is kind of
yeah,
like I think that kind of
You know you've made it,
solidifies.
right? When Scary Movie does a riff on your film. My only disappointment from Terrifier 4 so far, unless Spill's time to prove me wrong, I want it in fucking space, mate. That's what I want.
Yeah,
Space.
art in space. I'm
I
here
think
for
that would easily work, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
definitely.
Some franchises it wouldn't, but art in space, 100%.
I would accept if that dimension, mild out of context spoilers for Terrifier 3, everyone. If the dimension that they see at the end, if that is indistinguishable from space, even if it's a hell dimension, if it's space-like, I'll pay that. That's fine.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
we'll just have to wait and see.
I'll allow it.
I was hoping that they did Christmas for the last one. I really wanted them to do like a Valentine's Day one, and because I
Okay.
really want to see art with a crossbow. I just love a
Mm.
crossbow. So I
A
was like, okay,
crossbow's always good, isn't it? Bit hard to reload, always fine, unless you get
yeah,
one of those.
She's got the forearms for it.
Got the
yeah.
forearm. Fucking hell. Have you been lucky? Have you met David Howard Thornton? You
I
have?
have.
Oh, amazing.
Yes. I got to interview him as well, not for Terrifier, for Screamboat,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
which was a very surreal moment. I a weird story. It was my first ever staff social at the place I work at, and everyone was just having drinks and playing a murder mystery. And I was like, I have to go and do an interview with possibly my favorite person in the world. I will be 15 minutes. And it was
15 minutes.
yeah, it was 15 minutes, dead short, because he had other press to do. And he was the nicest person in the world. I've met him at conventions as well, but
Yeah.
that was, I don't think I'll ever,
Oh,
I'll ever live that
amazing.
down.
That's amazing. How do you approach an interview with someone like who you consider one of your heroes, would you say?
I think I try and talk myself down a little bit, just being like, okay, first, don't fangirl, don't do it. Like,
Mm.
be like, you're a huge fan. This is such an exciting moment. I'm going to ask you questions now. Um,
Yeah.
have like a minute to sort of gush and then get into it. But I usually do my interview prep at least 2 weeks before the interview, if not more,
Mm.
just so I have time to mull over the questions and like
Yeah.
shortlist my most important ones. And then if I've got a bit of time, I can like throw in another one if I
Mm.
want to.
Because you always
Uh,
want to do something like unique that maybe they haven't heard, and that's difficult enough, though, isn't it?
yeah, I really wanted to interview him for Terrifier 3, but he didn't have the time. And it was during the Paris Olympics, and I was like, I want to know what sport Art the Clown would do in the Olympics. Um,
Good
I just
question.
I'd be fascinated.
What
What did
what would he do? What would he do in the bloody Olympics? I guess
javelin?
javelin. Yeah, probably javelin.
Devlin.
I reckon he'd do like some sort of what's the one where there's multiple things you do, decathlon, whatever it is, and it'd just be like different,
Oh yeah.
using a
That's
different weapon for each
non-committal.
one.
Then come on.
I'm trying to think
He's
like what would have like
just
a.
a bloody all-rounder.
He's just an all-rounder, this guy. Curling, but with like a severed head. That's more Winter
Yeah, I
Olympics.
reckon he'd do. He seems quite gymnastic. Maybe he could do the floor thing. Where he just a big square on the floor, and he does it like to music. Does loads of flips.
Yeah, I could see him in his little tricycle just doing like laps upon laps on
That's a
his
much
tiny
better idea.
tricycle.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
in the
that.
velodrome.
Yeah.
And forget Terrifier 4 in space. Terrifier 4 in the bloody velodrome, mate. That's what we want. That's what we need.
I need to sell the rights to Damien right now. Just be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
We very, very briefly met Lauren Lavera and chatted to her, didn't we, Andy?
We
We
did.
didn't get. It was when Terrifier 3 was being made.
It was
That's right.
it was just about to drop, I think. I think it was
Yeah.
finished but not out yet, and we saw her based on her appearance in the sort of Giallo film The Well.
The well, yeah.
oh yes, I know
Yeah,
the
I
wow.
liked that. It was all right.
Mm.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a decent film.
Yeah, I think she's good. I do think she's often the best thing in all the films she's in. Like, maybe like Terrifier is slightly different, but all the other films I've seen her in, she's like out and out the best. We watched Twisted a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen that, directed by
No, I've not seen
um
that yet.
guy. Yeah, that's pretty good. She's good in that.
We had
Um,
we had the well at Grimfest. I do social media for Grimfest, so we had the well screen there. Which was sadly she wasn't there. I
no.
wish she was, but we had the director there and he was lovely.
Mm.
So a lot of
Oh
people
yeah, we met a director. Very handsome man.
Good.
Very handsome man. He liked you, Andy, didn't he?
Yeah.
He
Well,
did.
in a,
What's not to like?
in a platonic way, I imagine.
In a platonic way.
I
We'll
liked
have to
him.
get down and up for Grimfest because it's in October, isn't it?
Yeah, you should come down. It's going to be
Yeah,
a
why
really
not?
good weekend.
We'll have to get involved.
Yeah, it's going to be a big weekend, I'm pretty sure. It always
Mm.
is. I drag people to Satan's on a Saturday night. It started off as a joke and now it's become tradition, apparently.
Mm.
Oh yeah, we'd need dragging so hard, wouldn't we? To some of that. No.
And he's
I
gonna be
go to a place I'm comfortable with the music and it's dark and I can just sit quietly and have a drink. What a time.
Oh dear. Okay, so let's get into the episode. So as we do with new guests who haven't been on the podcast before, Vicky, we do like to ask people about their Mount Rush horror. So that is four of their, favorite either stars or directors or characters or monsters or weapons or something like that that would make up your four faces on Mount Rushmore. This gives our audience, I guess, an idea of you as a film fan, even though I guess we can probably, if I had to make a cultured guess, I could guess who might be on there. Not all of them, of course. So, yeah, what would be your four picks, Vicky?
I mean, I think I have to say straight out the bat, unless I might get burned at the stake, it has to be Art the Clown.
Who?
That's such a surprise. Oh my
Yeah, we would have never guessed. Yeah, Art the Clown, get him up there. I mean, that'd be quite a fun face to carve onto the stone, wouldn't it? Really.
Yeah, I feel like he's got some good angles going on. You could get like a really good.
He's got great angles going on. I remember for ages. Sorry to jump in while you're discussing this. I thought that was someone's real face the first time I saw the first film. I was like, ah, God, he's grotesque.
And you just realize it's all prosthetics, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
yeah.
didn't. I was like, what's going on with this guy's face? They found the most horrific looking man ever, but no, it's not. It's prosthetics. Yeah, so Art the Clown, obviously, I guess.
Yeah, I. This is such a difficult question. Um, I would have to say Mary Mason from American Mary.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, okay. Wow,
huge,
great. Yeah, that's
huge.
an awesome choice.
I'm a huge Soska Sisters fan, and I'm a huge American Mary fan. I love a good for her horror, and I
Mm.
think American Mary is that sort of peak good for her. And I love a body mod, and I think she just takes it in her stride, and it's just so much fun, start to finish. An icon, to say the least.
Then we
Yeah,
haven't
I
done a
mean, a
Soska
great
Sisters
choice.
film,
Yeah, yeah,
have we?
Sauce Sisters,
No.
isn't it? Yeah.
We need to do American Mary's probably a good choice,
Yeah.
or the remake of Rabid has things to recommend it for as well.
Hmm. I mean, it's a great choice as well, especially considering, I guess, initially, if you're thinking Catherine Isabel, you might think of her character in Ginger Snaps. But American Mary's a great choice. I've not seen it for years, American Mary.
It's definitely one of my favorites. I want to say, I've wrote an article on it that's not been published, and I'm waiting for its time to be published. But the Soska sisters have read it. A, yes, a very good friend of mine
Oh.
has the licensed merch line for American Mary, and he was at HorrorCon Sheffield last year, obviously selling
Yeah,
stuff.
I think I've seen it. I think I've seen you guys modeling it.
Oh, Unusual Horror.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, isn't it? The American Mary shirts. I remember
Yeah,
seeing them. Yeah.
that's our boy.
Hell yeah. We'll
Our
have to put
boy.
a link in the show notes to that as well for people to be able to get
Definitely.
hold of it. Um,
Um, Yeah, they read the article and they really loved it, and he
Oh,
mm,
that's
FaceTimed
nice.
me while they were reading it, and they were very nice.
yeah,
So
that's amazing. That's great.
yeah,
Super cool.
third one, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say Guillermo del Toro. Um, I'm a huge Del Toro fan. Um, I've always been a Del Toro fan. The Shape of Water makes me cry every single time I watch it. The new Frankenstein makes me cry every single time I watch it. And I think it only came out in November. I've watched it 6 or 7 times
Oh my God.
already. I've got two
Wow.
reviews now dedicated to it. It's like a film has not altered my brain chemistry quite like the first time I watched the first Terrifier, like the new Frankenstein
Oh
did.
wow. Okay. So it's
Okay.
like this is
High
the second
praise
instance.
indeed. And
Yeah.
already the mountain is taking shape now. I'm visualizing this from an architectural point of view, Ben. You've got your Art of the Clown on the far left, I think.
Is he got the
And then I
sunglasses
think,
on?
yeah, well, I was thinking at great expense, we could change the sunglasses seasonally. So you get like the flowered ones
Oh
in
my
the
God.
springtime.
I like
We'll
it.
change to the Christmas tree ones in the winter. Maybe little turkey shaped ones in November if you do a bit of
Just get him
Thanksgiving.
craned in.
Seasonally appropriate. Yeah.
Very nice.
And then maybe, depends on who we have in the third slot, on the fourth slot, there's time to change. But actually, as a bookend, I would put old GDT on the far side because he's got little glasses as well, hasn't he? He just has his regular ones. Just his
Yeah,
little
just
Yeah, we don't want to
glasses.
change his glasses seasonally.
No,
No
you
need
just
for
leave
that.
him all year. He's got an iconic singular look, but Art's got more of a versatile one.
yeah. Art's just a diva, I think.
Yeah.
He's there for the fashion, he's there for the moment, and I'm here for it. My
Yeah.
fourth
Number
one,
four.
it's really difficult. I I feel like At the minute, and I say this at the minute, I'm a huge Lucio Fulci fan. Um,
Oh,
love
hell yeah.
Fulci, love zombie flesh eaters. I love that sort of Italian sort of oatmeal zombie.
Hmm.
It,
Oatmeal zombie is a great
That's a
description
great
of
description. Yeah.
of a Lucio Fulci zombie. Yeah.
it's like it looks like someone's just made porridge and just
Yeah,
been
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, do you know what? That works.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you put it in the microwave instead of doing it on the pan, the time you think you've saved, it goes wrong if it all explodes, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Turn you
Exactly.
into a
I,
oatmeal zombie.
How many Fulci films have we done on the podcast? We've done the Beyond,
Yeah, I
which has
liked the
definitely got
Beyond.
oatmeal zombies in it,
There were
hasn't
such
it?
milky eyes for a lot of people in that.
Yeah. But I don't think we've done zombie flesh eaters.
No, we haven't.
there is one person I can recommend speaking to if you want to talk to him about Lucio Fulci. He has just released a book about Lucio Fulci.
Oh
Um,
wow.
his name is Matt Rogerson. Um, really good friend of mine, a great writer and a great academic. He's done a book on the Vatican versus horror movies and basically how the Vatican tried to um,
Ah, okay.
censor and stop their.
Fulci's Inferno, is that the book?
Yep, that's the book.
Yeah, I recognize the
Wow.
cover of this. I think I've seen it
Yeah,
doing the
it's
Consider
rounds.
this in a positive way. Sometimes this sort of message comes across negative, but Matt, consider yourself on notice, my friend. We'll be in touch to see if you'd be interested in coming to chat. Nothing
We're
stressful.
coming for you.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yes, he is incredibly knowledgeable. I can speak to him for hours about Italian horror, Fulci, and just film in general. He's incredible. So
Mm,
I think you guys will have a great chat with him.
yeah. I
Right.
mean, honestly, that's a really diverse, interesting four, and I feel like it's the first appearance of a few that for our guests, it's the first appearance for a few choices for the
Yeah,
Mount Rushmore.
certainly Fulci's first appearance. May and I think American Mary's first appearance as well.
It has to
GDT,
be, yeah.
I think he's rocked up in the past and
Maybe Art the Clown.
maybe Art the Clown. Surely someone like Liz pulled him or Zara maybe, but
Mm,
a good
yeah,
mix
that's
of
good
some
though. I like
favorites
it.
and some new ones.
I would put a little tidbit on Fulci as well. I think the reason why I'm very obsessed with Lucio Fulci at the minute is because one of my favorite bands in the world is a band called Fulci, and their whole thing is brutal death metal based off his films.
Oh my
Um,
God, hell yeah.
their like first proper album's called Tropical Sun, and it's literally all to do with zombie flesh eaters.
Yeah.
And it uses the samples, and when they play live, they screen bits of the film while they're playing, so it's great.
Oh my God, that does sound great, doesn't it? I always feel like bands when they try and do like film when they try and do songs based on films, it never quite hits home for me. I'm always a bit like, I don't know. I'm a bit iffy on it, but that does sound good.
It's hard to top the seminal work of Cobra Starship and their album
Snakes on a
release,
plane.
Next on a Plane. Another film we should do. We should do this summer, Ben. What a summer holiday movie. Snakes on a Plane.
Absolutely. I'm well up for that. I listened to that whole album recently.
Oh,
It made me
love Cobra
feel
Starship. One of the bands I
made
love the
me
most based
feel
on Name
very
of
old.
Onion.
Made me feel very old. But yeah, a great four for the Mount Rush horror there, Vicky. Okay, let's talk a little bit about horror news. And it's a good thing that we're chatting the day we're chatting because it's literally one day after the Academy Awards. And horror has, I reckon, cleaned up. It's cleaned up, isn't it? And it's about damn time.
It's about damn time, but I will temper this excitement, everybody. The two of you here with me today, the listeners to a horror podcast, you do realize for all of the plaudits and very well deserved awards, the amount of the regular shit munchers who are going to be telling us how good horror movies are these days for the next couple of weeks is going to be intolerable.
Have you heard about this film called Terrifier? Apparently, Vicky's going around telling everyone to watch it, and apparently it's good. It
Oh,
did win an
it'll
Oscar,
be
didn't it?
Vicky Erasure though, won't it, Ben? It'll be someone who's only just got into horror yesterday when Sinners won an award. And they'll be like, "There's a whole overlooked genre. Maybe you've heard actually quite an extreme example, a bit of a biblical terror." And you'd be like, "Shut up, leave. This was our thing."
Like this is my like sacred space, and now
Yeah,
I feel
get
like
alone.
the Academy season and award season in general. as happy as I am for horror to finally be properly recognized and have what, 5 horror films be nominated for the Oscars this year. We
Yeah.
had Frankenstein, obviously Sinners.
Including The
Uh,
Ugly Stepsister, which I feel like is a bit left field as well, in a good
Mm.
way.
I know an indie gem getting picked up by the Oscars was I was so shocked.
Mm,
Really wanted them to get it. Not mad about Frankenstein getting it for very obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But really wanted them to get it. Obviously Weapons, Amy
Yeah.
Madigan,
yeah.
great. Really happy with that. And I'm gonna call it a horror because it did horrify me. If I had legs, I'd kick you. Rose Byrne.
See, I've heard great things about this. I've not
I've
seen it
not
yet.
seen it.
It is
No.
fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
It's
okay.
so good. I'm very happy Jessie Buckley got the Best Actress award for Hamlet,
Mm,
but I was hoping and praying Rose Byrne might just
yeah.
get it. But I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
But it's good because we're talking about a Oscar-winning actor today, Jessie Buckley,
Yeah.
in today's film. And I did say to you guys before we recorded that I could have quite easily seen her winning, if not an Oscar, but like a big award for this particular performance. I think her performance in Hamlet, while it's like emotionally heavy, like it's still quite understated in a way. Like you wouldn't watch it and go, "That's a bloody Oscar-winning performance." That is, I guess, because it's about Shakespeare. That is a bit Oscar bait, a bit. I don't know. I don't know. They like
Yeah. You
Shakespeare in
can't
Love all those years ago, didn't they?
can't mess around with the bard, really, can you? You got a little bit of it's got a bit of gravitas to it.
Got a bit of gravitas to it. There's
You're
like a
gonna
big
use it. And also
tragedy.
the dates. Surely the dates of this release, The Bride would be eligible for it to be nominated next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah,
Are
yeah. Why
we
not?
are we claiming for the horror genre K-pop Demon Hunters winning soundtrack as a horror win as well?
Well, it
Got
won
demons
Best
in it.
Animated Film and it won Best Song, didn't it? Best Original Song.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we can give it to them.
Yeah.
It's got
yeah.
demons in it. I've
I
not
can't
actually
do that.
watched it, so
I've not seen it either.
I haven't seen
my
it, but I tell you what, that song's a belter. Come on.
oh, it's a great song. It's a proper earworm. Like it gets stuck in your head. I'm pretty sure I woke up this morning humming it, and I was just there like, this isn't your usual run-of-the-mill thing you're humming on a morning, but okay,
No.
here you are.
It's on my run playlist.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I'd
Do
love
the
to
little
see you
sprite.
run.
I'd like to time it for a 5K, just for the last. If it's the last song, gonna do proper sprint finish.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's a good
Um,
empowering song though. I feel like you can
mm.
just keep going.
Yeah.
So obviously, I guess Sinners had the most nominations, didn't it, for any film, which is kind of crazy considering, I guess, the genre it is. Although I guess it's like it is horror, but at the same time, I think it's probably good entry horror for people who maybe aren't super big fans of it, because like for 2/3 of that film, it is like period drama essentially, isn't it? Which is good, but it got 4 wins, including Best Actor Michael B. Jordan, Best Original Screenplay for writer director Ryan Coogler, Best Original Score for Ludwig Göransson. That's his third Oscar win. Betty, turn it in,
Ludwig's
Ludwig.
banging him out
He is banging him out. He's the
like
new
his
Hans Zimmer.
namesake.
He's very banging him out.
Bangers for days.
He
You
literally
said
is the
he's the
new
new
Hans.
Hans Zimmer. Me and my partner had this exact same discussion last night when he won it. Is like
Yeah,
he is the next
because
Hans
even
Zimmer.
Christopher Nolan's gone. Hans, step back. I got Ludwig in for this one, old Oppenheimer. Um, so yeah, there's obviously that, and best cinematography, Autumn Durald Archipel, which is but the first woman to win the award, first woman of color to be nominated. I feel
Incredible.
like when you keep hearing these things, you're just like, it's unbelievable, really, that it's 2026 and we're hearing things like this. Isn't Michael B. Jordan like the 6th black man to win Best Actor as well? I think I think
Yeah,
I
Didn't pay
read that.
close enough attention to the awards.
It was
I'm
something
afraid.
like that, and it is kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
It is proper one of them where you go, that is insane.
For me, I think
Um,
the recognition, especially for Ryan Coogler, he's the only I didn't stay up to watch it, but I saw his acceptance speech this morning.
mm,
Tremendous emotions. Bearing in mind, this guy isn't an actor. This is just what an emotional speech and the recognition he wanted to give everyone. And also, I think the thing that we must never forget about Sinners and what Ryan Coogler has done, his complete upending of the status quo regarding the studio system and the ownership of something. the fact that the studios, they're not going poor, don't you worry. The executives will get their bonus like they do every year. But um, the very fact that he has it built into his contract that you make your money out of this, and then after a certain number of years, this is mine again, and it comes back to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, that's good, isn't
It's
it? Yeah.
just so nice to see that what we have here is a creation, a world, a story, which is just not making a mega corporation infinity money for infinity time. Like
Mm.
it goes back to that creator. And hopefully Vancouver can retire off this one day and be like, there's my nest egg.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds
I
like
think it's fascinating to see him just as an artist and as a filmmaker. I watched him during it was the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, and you think he's a really big director, and he still took the time out of his day to like come on there on a video call, accept the award, and like
mm.
actually give like a very heartfelt speech about it. And I think he's not like other filmmakers who are there like, oh, I've got my big films now. I don't need to look back at the sort of independent cinema anymore and support them. Whereas I think he's very much ingrained with the art of it and not the money grabbing aspect of it. And I really respect that.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. And he's involved in X-Files next, which is super, super exciting. I'm excited for that. Um, and then obviously Frankenstein won some creative wins, best production design, best costume design, best hair and makeup. And then Amy Madigan won best supporting actress for Weapons. I mean, that category was probably the one where I was a bit like, oh, I mean, I want Amy Madigan to win that, but at the same time, it looked like one of those categories were a bit like best supporting actor as well, actually, where I was like, it could be anyone.
Mm.
Could be
Yeah,
bloody
wouldn't have been
anyone.
mad with Delroy taking it home, to be honest. That would have been all
Yeah.
right.
But I think Weapons is slightly different because I feel like Weapons is a proper like genre film, isn't it? So it's almost like the very concept of it is like Frankenstein. It's a classic story. Sinners is like an original story, which is kind of like this sprawling, deep South film. But yeah, Weapons felt like it's a great performance. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying the fact that she won it as well is like huge. I think. Um, so yeah, super exciting
Last
for
nominated
that.
for an Oscar in her career 40 years ago.
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
didn't win that one. Just nominated.
Just nominated, I think.
Hmm.
Only
Yeah.
person with a longer time it took them in their career to win an Oscar is Godzilla, I think. Been going for
Godzilla.
going
Yeah.
60. Got one now.
Nice one, Godzilla. Um, so there we go. That is the Oscars. How exciting. Really just mainly excited just to see where everyone's careers go from here, you know.
Yeah.
People who deserve plenty, but just to see what that means for their career, what projects they're going to be working on next is awesome. Okay. Other pieces of news we've got we got the first images from the Crystal Lake series. I'll be totally honest, there's not much going on in these images. There's just like
Is it a lake?
someone's hand with a knife, a lake. uh, yeah. So obviously it's the Friday the 13th TV series, and it's
Not the best Friday the 13th TV series, of course.
not the best Friday the 13th TV series. This is the prequel series, Crystal Lake,
Give
produced by
me Ryan, give me Mickey, give me Jack. Those three amigos. Get Ryan Coogler involved with that. Mulder and Scully have had their
yeah.
time. Bring those lads back.
So obviously we've got Pamela Voorhees. It's all centered around Pamela Voorhees as well, which is interesting, isn't it? It's been described as a paranoid 70s thriller. It's all the DNA of a slasher without quite being a slasher. Again, interesting to see how they sort of stretch it into TV show territory. But last year with It, Welcome to Derry and Alien Earth, two shows that I really enjoyed, I'm just hyped to be able to enjoy these horror stories in slightly longer form. I don't know. Are you hyped for this, Vicky?
Yeah, I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. I think of like the main slashers, it was the first one I went to when I like dipped my toes into horror when I was a very young teenager.
Mm.
I saw a photo of Jason and I was just obsessed. I've been
Which
called the
form of
great
Jason, though? Was it sackhead Jason, hockey mask Jason, coming out of the water and grabbing you off the canoe, Jason?
Just little
it was
frog boy,
hockey
Jason.
it was hockey mask Jason. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, that's the classic one, isn't it? Yeah.
wild. I was 13. I watched three films back to back. Um which was like my first taster into horror, and it was Hellraiser, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Friday the 13th, Jason Lives.
Okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
went in rogue. I didn't start with the first one. I was like, I really
No.
like the look of this poster. I'm just gonna go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jason Lives is the one where he does finally come back. Yeah, poor old Corey Feldman replaced by a different actor. When they dig him up to make sure that he's definitely dead in the grave, unfortunately, that does create a situation where he can be struck by lightning and be brought back to life. If they just
Mm,
left it, he wouldn't let it
yeah.
lie.
Lightning can't go
Curious.
underground, or can it?
Curiosity just didn't get the best of people. Just leave things as is. We
Yeah.
probably would have avoided many situations.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, if
true.
a dog called Jason hadn't been being walked in a junkyard, being allowed to piss fire everywhere, Freddy would have stayed dead.
Freddy's dead. I mean, if that's the way you bring a major character back to life, anything can happen. You
A
know when
dog named after their or a rival pisses fire on them.
yeah. When someone goes, "Oh, well, that character's dead now. They're never coming back." I'm like, "Have you ever seen a film? Have you ever seen any film ever?"
Like
Because
basically, unless that motherfucker's called Uncle Ben, they're probably coming back. That guy's staying dead, unfortunately.
they could be turned to ash and they would somehow come back. Somehow they return. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this. So I'll be checking it out absolutely. And another piece of news I just wanted to mention is that the game Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly, the remake, is out now. It released last Thursday. We have been sent a lovely review code for this, Andy. So I'm going to be getting my teeth into this game. It's very Silent Hill coded, but you kind of like use the camera obscura, a device that can capture and seal away the impossible to fight ghosts.
The original Fatal Frame, or as we called it in the civilized world, Project Zero.
Well, when you said Project Zero, you confused me, but then I remembered.
That's what
So
it's
I was
called.
like, look at this guy getting the name of it
All
wrong.
right, Grandad. No, I knew. OG, mate. The original Project Zero on the PlayStation 2 was one of the games I played the start of so many times because it was just one you wanted to show. You want to see a scary game? Look at this. Showing people that first little opening bit, your first encounter with the ghost before everyone was like inevitably, no, I don't want any more of this. This is too horrible.
Yeah. Do you remember in Metal Gear Solid, you used to be able to take photos in certain places and ghosts appear, but it was like
But
the
it's little
developers.
ghosts of like the developer.
Are you much of a gamer at all, Vicky?
Sadly, no. They stress me out. I
Mm,
love the stories and I love the design of them. I get very stressed out with like console
yeah.
games. I my best friend is a huge, huge Resident Evil fan, and I think it was when Resi Village came out. Is that's the one with Lady Dimitrescu? Am I
That's
right?
the one.
Yeah.
Yes, I went round to hers for just like a girly night. She was like, "You're gonna sit and you're gonna watch me play this game, and you're gonna give it a go as well." And she handed me the controller, and I had a panic attack. I was just there like,
Yeah.
get it away from me.
Watch me run away from this giant woman. Oh no! Oh no, I fell over. Oh no, I fell
I
over
fell over
again.
again.
Whatever will I do? But I love the narratives. I love the artwork and the time that goes into them. I think they are truly stellar pieces of art. But I just can't play them.
I think like modern Resident Evil games, like they've really lent into the like pursuer enemy as well, which I feel like was always the most stressful bit about the old games, like something following you that won't bloody leave you alone. And now they've like made it that's what happens in these games now.
The
Mhm.
strongest mechanic was actually that I've had in those games for ages was actually DLC of Village with those little dummies that only walk towards you when you're not looking at them. That
Yeah,
was
that was pretty nasty.
horrible.
That was
Having to go,
gnarly.
I was working away with the camera, like walking backwards, trying to make. I can still see you the whole time. It was wicked.
Yeah. There are so
I'm
many
glad
bits.
you've got the Crimson Butterfly game to play through and taking the demo because I haven't started Resident Evil. We're doing an episode of it next week. I've got a week to play through.
I'm gonna be done again because I've done it once and now I'm playing insanity mode on Resident Evil 9, which is everything like it sounds like. It's insane and it is horrific.
Yeah.
It is. I mean,
I will.
stress. I get stressed playing these games. Insanity mode when you've shot a zombie 10 times in the head and it hasn't gone down, you're like, fucking hell.
Oh,
But
rough.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
slowly
gonna
making
be.
progress.
You said it's
Yeah.
like a Dark Souls game at this difficulty, right?
Yeah, it does. And I think I'm trained from those games, like to have patience and to like learn the patterns and stuff. Yeah,
Mm.
it's pretty nuts. But yeah, we're talking about it next week. Our first full game episode, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, we've done some bonuses, but it's time to really dive in. So I will be finished in time. I will have to leave the important work of restoring the highways and byways of Pokopia to make those lovely Pokemons have lovely
Oh
houses
yeah.
to live in. That's stressful in a different way, Ben. I don't want to
Yeah,
let
I bet it
anyone
is.
down. I don't like Bulbasaur needs somewhere nice to live. If I don't fix it, who's gonna? No
Yeah.
one.
No one. But yeah, looking forward to that. And looking forward to properly playing Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly as well. So I'll let you know how I get on with it once I've started it. That's all I got for news. Any news at all from you, Andy?
I got a little bits on the dates for your diary, things to watch out for, Ben.
Okay, lovely.
Um, One thing, actually, Vicky, as we've got you here, we actually had an invitation to see if we could attend a London premiere and then meet up with the director, Mark Zammit, to have a little chat about a new clown-based horror film that's out right now called Jitters. Have you heard anything about this, the two of you? We couldn't make it, sadly, because you were at work, I was in France.
I've heard about it because I think friend of the show, Sam Munster, was maybe on set when they were
Oh,
filming
very
it.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes. I follow Sam as well, and I know Sam as well. So I think, yeah, I've seen it on their socials because I have the name sounds really familiar, and I feel like I've
Mm.
seen clips of it. And 9 times out of 10, if it's clown related, it gets sent to me by someone.
Yeah, he's a very clowny man. He's got like a big helmet on with
He's a
lights and
very
all sort of dealy boppers all over it. I believe that's the scientific term. Here's your synopsis. When fear is the only rule, Detective Collymore, not related to Stan, I'm imagining, single divorced father stumbles upon a mysterious case involving the death of Tiffany. Initially deemed natural, he digs deeper and discovers the horror of jitters. And if the picture is to be anything to be gone by, Jitters himself is a clownman.
He's a clownman, jitters. He's had too much coffee. He's got the old jitters. Jitters in Bristol is what used to be called if you were even slightly alternative. Does that
Jitters,
does
that what they call you?
yeah? Does that translate to anyone at all anywhere else in the UK?
I'm afraid not.
No. It was
No.
like if you had your Slipknot hoodie on and baggy jeans, or anything really,
That would make you a grebo where I
that would
live.
make you a jitter. Yeah, grebo.
Yeah,
That's what
Grebo.
my wife says, grebo, and I go in Bristol. I was always called a jitter. There we go. But yeah, that sounds good.
So that's that one. We still need to check that out. Sadly, the diaries didn't work out, but bless the team over there did try and accommodate us, but I just couldn't find a slot that worked. So I said I'd at least mention the film, and we will catch up on it, especially having Vicky here to inspire us to follow on
Mm.
clown-based horror. A couple of other dates for your diary, though, everybody. Um, First, HorrorCon Scotland is coming up on the 11th of April, a couple of short weeks away. It's in Glasgow. There's going to be lots of horror personalities and merch and escape rooms and everything going on there. Not sponsored content, by the way. If I do go, I'll just buy a ticket. But one thing I might be doing is, you know who is going to be appearing there, Ben? Ash Millman's going to be there for the day.
Oh, I did see that actually. I did see her say she was going to be there in Bonnie,
So
Scotland.
lots of horror stars over there, but first and foremost among them, my personal favorite of all the people that have been listed, Ash is going to be there. So get yourself
Mm.
down, see what she's about. Yeah, that's on the 11th. A little bit further away, we have time to remind you again of this one, but it started being promoted now. So if you're an early bird ticket shopper, maybe this is for you. Strange Little Obsessions is going to be on in the Midlands, the old stomping grounds, Ben. It's going to be in Nottingham, 26th, 27th of, remember, the 26th and 27th day of September, is that's what you're
Mm.
going to be looking for.
Yeah.
Loads of things it's very specially coded as an independent horror event. So there's going to be all kinds of indie creators. Amber Doig Thoin's going to be there. We're going to have lots of folks from the RIP Man that we spoke about the other day. I think most of their cast are going to be around. You know, who's on
Lovely.
hosting duties for the day though. Old former guest, increasingly horror podcast, the host Emily Booth is going to be on hosting duties for the day.
Ah.
So check that out as well. That one's nice and far away, so I'm giving you time to get that in your calendar and
If you
plan your
set off
travel
now,
and
you'll
so on
get
as
there.
well.
Set off now, you'll
Yeah,
get there in time.
I reckon you'd have time. You could walk slowly, to be honest, even from my house.
Walk slowly like Michael Myers.
Yep, that's how he gets it done. that is the big bits for news, Ben. I got a couple of things we've been watching. We'll come to that.
Okay. Okay. Yes, let's do it. Okay. So moving swiftly on, what we've been watching. Anything we've seen in the last 7 days that maybe you want to recommend? We'll come to you first, Vicky. Anything you've seen recently, horror-wise, for the first time? Maybe a classic, maybe a new film.
Yeah, so I went and watched If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You in the cinema last week,
Mm.
and I was absolutely floored by it. I'm truly obsessed with that film now. Um, I was sort of on the verge of a crash out to begin with. So that film was like perfect to
Mm.
watch because it's just Rose Byrne trying really hard not to crash out, and I just
Yeah.
felt very validated in how I felt. But it very much is like a mental health film. Like it's to do with like the pressures of a working mother and trying to keep everything under control and just nothing is going right. Um, but it gets very almost psychological horror focused. Like there's bits in it that really sort of go through you. Um, and there's I don't want to spoil it, but there's like there might be a little body horror moment in there somewhere as well, which is a bit
Interesting.
gip-inducing. It did
Mm.
make me sort of retch a little bit, which in this day and age of film is quite hard
Mm.
for that to happen. But yeah, really, really good. On top of that, I'm about to write a very big article for the magazine I write for, all to do with Mondo films. So obviously the new Faces of Death is coming out this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Of
Oh yeah.
course.
Um, so we're sort of doing a very big feature on sort of the history of Mondo films and what's real, what's fake, and
Mm.
obviously sort of leading up to the new Faces of Death. So very educational for me. I've not watched many Mondo films. I've watched Faces of Death, but I'm dipping toes into some films that are quite gnarly, which is
Yeah.
yeah, fascinating
What is
though.
the magazine you write for, Vicky?
Starburst.
Oh,
Oh, very good.
Starburst. Oh, hell yeah. Amazing.
Big
That's
fan.
super exciting. How do you feel about like the Faces of Death movie like being it's not I mean not like the most mainstream of mainstream releases, but like I don't know. It feels like almost going against the grain of what Faces of Death perhaps was getting a major release. Is on the cover of Fangoria. Have you seen the cover of Fangoria yet? All I've seen is like the blurred
Yeah, I've
image.
only seen the blurred.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on under there.
Yeah. It's like if clickbait's the game, it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Give the
got me.
marketing team a raise.
You can't
Um,
unblur it. Mary Whitehouse will come back from the dead to censor it again. Then
um, I don't know how I really feel about them re-releasing Faces of Death. I thought when it came out at the time, it was very much that shockumentary thing they were going for. Is like, is it real? Is it fake? Obviously, you can tell
Yeah.
nowadays it's like the elements in it are quite fake. So I don't really know how they're going to make a lot of it land this time because this is not the days of Live Leak where you're watching horrendous things on the internet like behind parents and teachers' backs.
Yeah.
It's like how do you sort of get away with that? Um, Especially if you're doing a very big theatrical release like this.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. I'm definitely going to go watch it. I need to force my partner to watch the original because he's never watched the original. He's also going to sit down with me and watch Traces of Death,
Mm.
which I've never watched. Watched 20 minutes of it the other day
No,
and
I've
then had
not
to
seen.
turn it off because I was like, this is quite a
Oh,
lot. This is quite a lot. It's
it's real
very
though, isn't it? Traces of Death.
yeah,
It
so that's
is.
all real footage and photos. So I sort of knew what I was getting myself into, but I think actually seeing it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
okay.
There is
even
something
someone
about
of
that.
the Rotten.com generation is has to turn away at a time.
Watching something on like 120p on someone's Sony Ericsson. Have a look
Yeah.
at this. Oh, Jesus. I feel like
Yeah.
that stuck with me more than any film I've probably ever seen. Um, but yeah, Trace of Death. Is there a Trace of Death 2 as well? I think.
I think there is. I'm only going to watch
Yeah.
the first one. It's like
Yeah.
this is for research purposes alone.
Mm.
But it's all very fascinating. I love learning about sort of like new sort of subgenres of horror that I've never even dipped my toes into. So this
Yeah.
it's going to be exciting. Going to be a good future.
Yeah.
Nice.
It
Looking forward
certainly
to it.
is. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to that. Andy, have you seen anything?
I got a little bits, Ben, after we've got through our list. I know we're going to do a separate little recording to talk about the Screams by the Sea stuff, so I will put a pin in the things we watched
Yeah.
related to that. But I did hit a little bit of the old screener list. There was one film that has been on there for a while called Anacareta. Have either of you seen this one? So this is
Uh,
a found footage movie. A group of friends travel into a remote cabin that belongs to one of the guy's grandparents who's passed away, and they're trying to make a horror film, but there is other stuff going on off the back of it. It opens with like an audition tape that one of the lead characters called Antonia, is performing, and it has begins with one of my favorite things, Ben, a lovely animal story. Very specifically, the animal story that's in the only episode of Star Trek Voyager I've ever seen. It's a story about a scorpion and a fox. Long story short, they both died, and the moral of the story is instinct, nature, and there is the nature of the film that we're going to explore here. It has a boyfriend with so many red flags, it makes the fella from Midsummer look like maybe you should give him another chance. Um, yeah,
Give him
I
another chance, will
I
you?
love a found footage movie, particularly when we do all of the wonderful found footage tropes of keep the camera rolling at all times. I'm expressly telling you this, and then people do some kicking off, and then there's a well, what are you filming this for? And it's what is really interesting about the film, into the horrors that unfold. There are some quite creepy, like sleepwalking scenes, which I quite enjoyed about it. But but yeah, it's got the all of your found footage tropes. Might be a little slow for some of those. It's definitely more of a thriller than a direct horror movie, but if found footage is your thing, you will get a little something out of that. Now, there is my there is my one take. I have quite a different take on something else I watched. I had a look at something called NFT cursed images. Now,
Oh.
oh, I see.
Hang
Your
on a
face
minute.
is the same response that I had, Vicky. I sort of thought, well,
You've seen it, Vicky.
we're asked. I have watched it. I watched it yesterday. So
I've not watched it. It got offered to me as
yeah.
a review for Starburst, and I used to work at a crypto company that dealt with NFTs, so I
Mhm.
just had like sort of Vietnam flashbacks, and I was like, I can't touch this.
I just
Yeah.
assumed it was going to be like a takedown of NFTs. Is it
That
not?
is what I needed to find out because at first I was like, okay, is this going to be about something which I, cards on the table, fundamentally disagree with? Yes, yeah, so I thought, right, okay, what is this going to be? Is it going to be an exploration of what these things are? Is it going to be a takedown of what this culture looks like? And what it is not quite either. I think what it appears to be, and I do not have the background of the making of this to comment as to what it is. It feels like there was an idea for a supernatural horror film. You have a kinship with the things like The Ring and stuff like that as well, where a bit of emergent technology, classic J horror, and there is a haunting or some kind of spirit attached to this.
Is that a bit of a slightly AI poster as well?
Definitely looks a bit like one. Definitely looks a bit like one. Actually, no, that could be looking at the poster like it's kind of pixel art that's
Nah,
then been evolved forward. I
nah.
think you could do that without
I'm looking
without
at it
AI.
now
You
going,
could
nah,
I think you could do that with a few Photoshop brushes. I think you could get away with that being genuinely made.
maybe.
But for me, there is definitely a message you could have on this one, and I definitely think that the of all the things it's terrible for, the NFT space is probably something for a bit of a self-aware nod and a bit of a dig at it. My problem with it in delivery, and I will give all the time in the world to a film that doesn't have a tremendous amount of budget or the tremendous amount of, you know, don't expect Oscar-winning acting performances in there because people are passionate amateurs, trying to do their first film. My problem and the challenge I had with it is there is quite a lot of very earnest dialogue. There is roughly about 10 minutes, maybe 15, where there is the entry point character who, a bit like in an infomercial, he's one of their friends who's not into crypto or NFTs, and he's like, what are these NFTs then? And then in a very straightforward way, like a tutorial video. His friends gather around and explain to him what NFTs and everything else is. I'll just transfer it to you in your crypto wallet. You do have a crypto wallet, don't you? And he's like, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, I don't. And they're like, don't worry, we'll set
We'll
one up
get
for
you
you.
set up, you little.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so all of that happens, and then we get some haunting and some killing, independent haunting and killing. It feels almost that this could have been one thing that was designed as like an independent horror film, and then someone could have come in there and said, I'll fund this movie for you if you let me do an infomercial for crypto at the beginning. Um, you know what? Support independent filmmakers, go and watch it. Skip the first half an hour if that's what you choose, if that's what you choose to do, or put a podcast on, watch it on mute. Yeah,
Oh God.
I really did wrestle with covering it at all. Like when we get information that comes in and people are willing to send us a screener, if something even vaguely engaged me, I'm like, I'll give it a go. And if someone's given us a screener, I am going to talk about it for good or for good or for ill. And I think fair shake. Interesting, some independent filmmaking. The subject matter is not something I'm interested in because I believe it is part of the downfall of our society and a terrible grift. But there was actually a line about this. Yes, some are scams, but actually there are some with really great communities attached to them. And I was like,
Is Tara reading it as well?
no, no. Tara Reid has, and I'm astounded I'm saying this. She hasn't got to this level. Bless her. She's far beyond
In the comments,
NFTs.
it says something about Tara Reid. Maybe they're just, I don't know. Who knows?
Unless I'm
Oh,
mistaken,
bless
unless
her.
she's become entirely recognizable,
No,
unrecognizable.
she's not. She's
No,
not listed in the cast. I just saw something in the comments there.
no. Like,
Oh
yeah,
well.
there's something interesting to be said about these things having creation, having links to actual myths, the sort of mimetic nature of passing on oral traditions and stories. There is a version of this, I think, where if you didn't explain it at all and you just straight on said, "Hey, we've got these NFTs. They carry a curse. These are the legends, and we'll dive into that." And I would have allowed
Don't
NFTs
even
to
have it as
exist for the
NFTs. Just have
purpose
it
of
as low resolution JPEGs that someone
yeah.
saves on their desktop.
You've been
If it,
cursed by this MMS.
it feels like they're trying to reawaken the copy pasta days
Yeah.
of like
Mhm.
Jeff the Killer and like Smile Dog, but it's with an NFT instead. I was like, there is a very basic thing you could do with this, but you've just thrown loads of Web3 jargon into it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And it just switches people off because it's like it's either a scam or I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Andy, what about a horror film based on WebP files?
Oh, WebP file's my fucking worst enemy. If I go back in time to kill anyone, it's going to be the person that invented WebP things. Look, I just want a little picture for my Zoom background for a hot minute. Don't WebP files, honestly.
Bloody WebP files.
Hitler is safe from me going back in time and killing him because the WebP inventor. And then on the way through my time travel journey, I'm going to get on video the inventor of GIF, possibly at gunpoint if I need to, saying that it's pronounced GIF, not GIF, because I can't have that discussion again.
Yeah. Not again.
Yeah.
I've not
Things
really.
being slightly wrong or inconvenient are my biggest problem in the world, man. I understand that's a privileged position to be in.
Very privileged. I've not really seen much horror this week because I've been trying to catch up on a few awards bait films. That's not the right way to describe them, but I've seen some good stuff. I saw I Swear. I've seen Saipan. I've seen Hamnet. Good times. As I said, I've been playing Resident Evil 9 on insanity mode, which I kind of think I'm still having fun, but I don't know. I'm approaching the line where it's going to turn into pain very soon. So we'll see how I get on with that. But yeah,
You have
But
watched
that's
one
it.
thing, haven't you, Ben?
What's that?
Film of the week.
I've watched the film of the week. I sure have. That's kind of expected of me for this
Yeah,
podcast.
the
isn't
least
it?
you could do.
The least I could do. So, film of the week, which is The Bride, a 2026 American Gothic romance horror film written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, Stars Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, alongside Peter Sarsgaard, Annette Bening, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Penelope Cruz. The film draws inspiration from the 1935 film Bride of Frankenstein, which is based on Mary Shelley's 1818 novel Frankenstein. In terms of plot, in 1930s Chicago, Frankenstein asks a doctor to help create him a companion. They give life to a murdered woman known as the Bride, sparking romance, police interest, and radical social change. There we
The
go.
one thing you forgot from that story there, Ben, is before Frankenstein rocks up and says, "Here, make us a bride," the ghost of Mary Shelley does possess a woman,
Yeah.
Abe's Odyssey style.
Yeah, that was pretty mad. Wasn't what I was expecting at all.
I mean, yeah, this was a mad moment in this film. We'll talk. I mean, the premise of this is we meet Mary Shelley at the beginning, and then she is in it as a pseudo narrator ghost who's also possessed the bride to some degree. And
It's
I
like
tell you
Venom.
what, yeah, I feel like she is it's another Venom film, the one we deserved. But it feels like this of all elements are I've seen a lot of reviews that even were positive about the film saying it's a bit Marmite because this one bit might turn you off it. But I'm gonna pay out on this one because what I think is that did the Mary Shelley and the ghost bits work for me? Did I find they were always necessary? Maybe not. But I feel like I've watched a film where somebody, rather than a committee, made a fucking choice about something they wanted to do in the movie, and for good or ill, I like that they did it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let me just quickly reel off the scores we've got before we get into it. So, IMDb 5.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 57% critic score, 70% audience score. Quite a big split there. Letterboxd 2.9 out of 5. Got some choice reviews for you. Max says, at one point, Christian Bale as Frank starts having a panic attack because he wants to go to the movies, and I feel like I've never related to anything more in my life. 4 stars. Tim Tam Titus. I felt like that I've read this person's reviews on our show before. She woke up, assessed the situation, and chose chaos. 3 stars. Kit Laser says, "You know what? Hell yeah! I've got whiplash from moving from leaning in to sinking back so often, but I'm absolutely obsessed with whatever Jessie Buckley is doing." 3.5 stars. And then of all the negative ones, I was trying to find a negative one that felt like it was saying something, so I found one. Megan Cruz says, boldly asserts itself as the true conduit of Mary Shelley's unrealized feminist vision, only to illustrate a kind of shallow, contradictory feminism embodied by President Barbie dolls. I don't know if I agree with that, but I just wanted to put a slightly negative spin on one because I was finding myself picking all the positive ones. Okay, so Vicky, what were your initial thoughts on? Obviously, we will get into spoilers and we'll spoil the whole plot afterwards. But I guess what are your initial thoughts on this film?
I utterly loved this film. I think I might have put myself in a box before this film even came out. I saw the trailer and I was just absolutely infatuated by the idea of it. I'm so here for a girl, a monster girl as well, just being peak chaos. I feel like that's what I strive to be every single day. Just wake up and just cause chaos. Um, and this film just embodies that. And as one of the reviews said, Frankenstein couldn't go to the cinema and had a panic attack. I'm like, I relate to that so
Yeah,
hard.
I just got to see Gyllenhaal on the big screen. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's great
He's
in
got a
whatever
new
he's
film
in.
out.
He's got a new film out. He's in Prisoners. He's in Night. He's in what was that one called when he was the
Prince of Persia.
Nightcrawlers? What I'm thinking of.
Listen, the bride. I've got to see if he gets the Sands of Time back in,
I got to
or is
see.
Gemma Arterton for it?
Yeah, I've got to see Prince of Persia immediately on the cinema. Otherwise, I'm going to be. He's singing along, he's mouthing along, and he's imagining himself in the film. Who doesn't do that?
Every
We're
time
all
I go,
doing
but
that.
never as the main character or as a background dancer.
Yeah, always a background, always as a background dancer, green screen
Jazz
thing.
hands.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I guess this was just like a such a unique take on this, and that thing that we already mentioned, the Mary Shelley embodying, sort of like taking over Jessie Buckley's character. as well. Yeah, it can be a bit Marmite, but I think it was done so well. Like it was the performance, it was the writing. I
Yeah.
thought the writing was great, and it was a bit like just firing words out, but I feel like it really did represent like that chaos of this character,
Yeah,
didn't it?
for an actor, you can imagine why this appeals, right? Because you are in alternating lines of dialogue, in some cases mid-sentence, flipping accents, like vocabulary, character, energy, face. Like for a challenge for an actor, it must be a tremendous role to
Mm.
play. I hope she just did the wise way of acting and did some pretending rather than trying to do this method. I'm going to pretend, I'm going to do method as if I'm possessed by a dead Victorian woman.
Well, it's just incredibly meta as well. The fact that she's possessed by the spirit of the writer who wrote the story, which inspired this particular character. Like it's got so much going on. Yeah.
And in this universe, obviously Frank is a real guy that's about and people know about, but the ghost of someone who wrote a book about that is in
What,
someone's head.
don't you like that is in this film, but they don't need to explain it. Don't you like that?
Yeah, don't explain anything. That's the rule, Ben.
That's the rule. Vicky, were you aware of this particular that this was in the film, or were you not aware?
No, so I feel like the trailer like really sort of clamped that down. And when I walked into the film and that initial start of it is Mary Shelley talking, I'm like, okay, this is
Mm.
interesting. And then obviously it snaps to the start of the film and everything that happens at the start of the film. And to begin with, I thought this was just an introduction and then we were going to go into the film.
Mm.
And no, that's just how it all went. And I can understand why people find it quite marmitey and they've not enjoyed that because that is a very bold move as a filmmaker to go straight in like that and
Mm.
expect everyone to love it. It's very, very strange, but I think it hit the mark really well. Once I realized what was going on,
Yeah.
I thought it was a really interesting sort of juxtaposition between creator and creature, but in a completely different
And the
sense.
fact that it was Jessie Buckley as well, like they could have easily just gone, here's someone else as Mary
Yeah.
Shelley. They could have easily just gone, here's the intro. This Mary Shelley going, this is the story I wanted to tell, but I couldn't. And here it
This is the
is.
story that you're going to go to the beginning of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air then.
You want to know how I got there? That's me. You want to know how I got into this situation? Right in, right
I
in
got spun
Frankenstein.
around by some bullies on a basketball court, and my
Maybe
mom
a
made me
wedgie.
move in with my rich uncle.
But also like Ida, even though we spent like a scene with Ida, so bloody interesting. I was just like, what's going on here? What makes her tick? I just
Hmm.
feel like everything from like the cinematography, just like the choices, the design choices of the characters, like the sort of black ink across her face and on her tongue and down her arm and all that stuff. It's just like it's
I was
incredible. Like it just looks great and it's so simple. That's the thing.
Oh,
I was
Halloween! No costume shops are making a dime this Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have
Go as the bride. I might go myself.
Yeah, I think this is such an iconic look. I really, really wanted to try and do like the ink splatter on my face today, but I was like, if I mess this up half an hour before I join this podcast, I will actually probably like tear my house apart. So I was like,
It's going to be like the
no.
substance. Ah!
Yeah, essentially. But I came out of that film and I was like, I'm going to do this. And this might become a new thing that I do, where I just do
Yeah.
the ink splat across the face. I think it's such an iconic thing, and
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get into the rest of it later.
Yeah,
So
I just kept noticing bits on her body all the way through. I was like, oh, it's all the way down there, and oh my God, it's on her tongue, and the fact that it kind of like inspires this kind of like group of like copycats, but also like yeah, it does that. I feel like again. We will get into it. That for me might be the weakest part of the film. Might have needed a bit more time to flourish. Might need a little bit more time to kind of like resonate with me. Again, we'll get into that. But I feel like the story of the bride, the fact that Frankenstein's monster is he's just a shy fella. He's just a shy fella, and I know there's lots to be said about the fact that like in terms of Jessie Buckley's character Ida and the way that everything that happens to her is kind of like decided by men and men committing acts upon her, even her being brought back to life Essentially, like that is like against her own will, and the fact that Frank throughout the film is essentially lying to her. Yeah, we used to know each other, and then you lost your bloody memory. Oh dear, like that in a sense is there's a lot to unpick there as well. But I think Christian Bale's performance was great. I feel like he's doing so much without really doing all that much, if that makes sense. And his poor old broken nose. I just think, oh, that's painful, isn't it? Unlucky, mate. Um, but yeah, I just love the world of this film, like the 1930 Chicago thing that they've got going on. Again, it's get those comparisons to Joker Folie à Deux. I think that they're going to be. mm, I think the reason those comparisons are coming out is because a lot of people are disappointed by that film, and I think a lot of people are saying this is the film it probably should have been. A bit more Bonnie and Clyde, a bit more character. Even though that relationship between Joker and Harley Quinn has always been something that's quite toxic and controversial, and the fact that it's ever presented as a love story has always never really sat right with me. but but still, like the way they explore this relationship is interesting because it could have gone so many different ways, and maybe it's because it's Maggie Gyllenhaal. It's a woman's voice in this particular film, writing these characters and writing the story, that it does feel a lot more genuine than perhaps it could have done. I don't know. Did
Yeah.
any of that made sense? I don't know what I was rambling a bit.
No, I fully understand that. Yeah, I don't think anyone else could have made this film and it be executed the way it was. I think Maggie had to be the person who made this film. Like you can just tell that this came from her head. This is
Mm.
this is her film and she did whatever she wanted with it. And yeah, it's a shame that it's not had the sort of mass appeal that a lot of people were expecting. But I think this is going to have a Jennifer's Body situation where 5, 10 years down the
Oh
line,
yeah, okay.
this is a great film. Have you watched it? And be like, oh, and it
Excuse
came out.
me. Is it like a Back to the Future scenario, but I go in, your guys aren't ready for that, but your kids are gonna love it.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna build up on these things, and also the narrative of I saw I was talking to some of my friends at work today, and they were saying one of them had seen it and said, "Oh, I really liked it," and someone else hadn't seen it. One because of the reviews, and the second piece about it was, "Oh, and I heard it's not doing tremendously at the box office," and I think that's something as film watchers and film fans that we probably need to separate our decision making from a tiny bit. Like it's not doing great at the box office. Well, did you invest in it? No, fucking don't care then. Like it's this whole like we almost get into the and like in some cases it expands beyond just it being a decision whether you see it or not, and it gets into that tribalism and like if you happen to love the Snyderverse, then you don't want to see an alternative take on Superman do well at the box office because then you feel somehow like you have won, or you love a PlayStation, so you hate to understand what Microsoft or Nintendo. Get off it, mate. Like a different billionaire other than
What?
your favorite is making money. Just go and see a film or buy a thing that you're interested in, and maybe the people who created it could do all right out of it.
What are the
I
negative
totally
reviews
understand.
saying? I haven't looked at many, but what are most of them saying?
A couple I've seen is about I've seen a little bit about the ghost bit being a bit disjointed. I think it makes it an accessibility issue for some people who don't grip into it straight away, and I totally get that. I've seen other things about a certain contingent of the internet not particularly fond of the fact that it is calling out the injustices done upon Jessie Buckley's character as the bride in this male dominated society, these things that have happened to her, all this loss of bodily autonomy, even autonomy over death, and then her rage and her response to that. Some I've seen some not reviews I'd necessarily take seriously, and that's not to say that you can't dislike it for a different reason. I have some people saying, "Oh God, it's got a bit of the Me Too's about it." What, that time when powerful people were called out for being abusive of women? I don't think that's a negative thing to point out that a film's putting out. And some people say, oh, the messaging is a bit unsubtle. People have tried subtle messages for a long time. It doesn't seek and beat them over the fucking head with it, as far as I'm concerned.
This is something I've been thinking about, so I'm going to put it to you, Vicky, because I am interested where you potentially would come from with this. Is that there have been films in recent years, horror films, genre films that perhaps take feminism in one particular direction. It really does just split fans down the middle. And I'm not just talking fans of both genders and in between, but I've seen it from a lot of a lot of women who perhaps, I don't know, like the substance but don't like this, or like this but don't like the substance. The substance a bit heavy-handed. Maybe some people seem to think that the substance um, takes things in a direction that perhaps doesn't necessarily represent the message of feminism that they're trying to discuss. Even Barbie, you know, a lot of people I think maybe think that missed the mark, or maybe they missed the mark with it in terms of the commentary it was trying to make. So I'm just wondering, from your point of view, like, what is that split in terms of the way film fans look at feminism represented in films like this? Some people think it's too much, and other people think it's not enough.
Mm. I think it's all just boils down to ideology at that point and what you as a person inherently see as feminism. I think I know people like, for me, for example, I love The Bride, I love The Substance, and I think they're both very interesting pieces of feminist cinema that discuss the same thing, similar topics, but very differently. Obviously, The
Mm.
Substance talks about female bodily autonomy and beauty standards in Hollywood and how it's you have to be young and skinny and everything has to be in the right place compared to old and in their eyes withered. Whereas this is very much the control that men have had on their bodies and actually like physically had on their bodies and losing that autonomy. And I think depending on who you are as a person, you will view those two things very differently. Whereas if you see, like, I will say this for myself, if I actively see a man putting his hands on a woman, I will call them out on the spot. And as well as that, if I see a man commenting on a woman's body, I'll call them out on the spot. But I think people decide whether when they want to say their piece and what they think is right.
Mm.
I don't think there's a huge umbrella of feminism. I think it's factions, isn't it?
Mhm.
Mm.
You pick and choose. Well, pick and choose is the wrong phrase, but you view feminism in the way that you view it. But ultimately, it's girls having girls' backs at the end of the
Yeah.
day. How that's how that's portrayed is how you
Yeah.
infer it.
I guess that makes sense. It's a very nuanced thing, and I guess everybody's got their own personal experience
I
with
think that's
those
the
things.
nuances where we sometimes lose it. I think sometimes we'll go into a something that's both things. It's a piece of entertainment. It's also a comment on society or a part of society or something that's going on or a particular issue. And I think sometimes any of us can be guilty of watching, reading any piece of entertainment, and we look at it as in its entirety a presented answer. And I think it's a mistake that I can make as much as anybody else. They can look at it as an answer and a singular piece. Whereas in
Mm.
reality, you could watch something and maybe you agree with 80% and you disagree with. That's why it's there to invite a discussion on this topic. And you can say, I can agree with this or I don't agree with that necessarily. But I think it is a shame when people disagree with a part of the message behind it, especially when it's not a like like in any artistic expression. In most cases, the writers, the directors, the performers, and are very, very rarely saying it's exactly about this. Like this is it is a discussion based topic. It's not maths. We're not presenting a thing where
Yeah.
Jessie Buckley stands up and says 2 and 2 equals 5. Actually, that you can just, that it is a binary, it is
Classic
or it
Buckley.
isn't this. This is presenting a discussion for you to go and have and a decision for you to go and make. It's how this author or these characters on screen have come to these conclusions. But where you sit on that can be entirely
Yeah.
different. And I think you don't have to agree with everything in a film, not just this one, anything to enjoy it or to have a discussion about it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's art, and art is subjective at the end of the day. What you will see as a masterpiece and a commentary on society, like issues in society, another person might just see as what on earth was that?
Yeah,
And at the
yeah,
end of the day, it does boil down to those really good
amazing.
discussions. I think that's why I love media so
Yeah.
much, because it
Mhm.
opens those conversations up.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I guess with a film like this, again, you can look at it as like a blanket statement. Obviously, good for her cinema has existed for decades. Uh, but you could look at it as just like, oh, it's just another one of those. Or are we just is it just a character story? This is this particular character's story, their life and death, and then life again. It's just that, and everything that happens to this character, everything this character says, everything this character does, that is just a character experiencing this world, this fictional world with very real world events in it. And yeah, that's it. That's kind of the way I kind of look at it, because I've seen a lot of people saying the same old stuff where they go, "Oh, it would have been all right if it wasn't so woke." Like
Yeah.
you want,
Oh
like
man,
like
like
you
that.
want, like you want Christian Bale's Frankenstein to just come out with like two fucking machine guns and just
Yeah.
like
Oh
mow
come on,
everyone
does not.
down.
Try some nuance for once in your life. People that's the same group that says something are too woke are the same that will be like, oh, Gen Z are ruining everything. Millennials that like, fuck off. Try and find a slightly less tired way to divide people. I say it before, Ben. It's quickly become my catchphrase. No war but class war. All right. So, um, but the other thing as well, not to bury the lead here, that is very much the bride, but again, as a character study, it's a really interesting perspective, and certainly one I'm more qualified to talk about than the experience of a female character. I think the exploration of Frank as a character and his motivations are also what I found really interesting about this one. And it highlights one of the issues that I didn't enjoy so much about your friend of mine, GDT's representation of Frankenstein. My biggest problem about it is that the monster didn't really do anything monstrous. He witnessed a man die in an accident that one time, but he didn't do anything that was truly
Mm.
horrible. Whereas Frank in this one, be it the acts of violence he is driven to in some of the action scenes, or just the motivation behind why he makes the same mistakes as Frankenstein the scientist, why he, you can explore those motivations of why he lies because of this loneliness he feels, and you can have a discussion and some thoughts on, do you understand why he does it? Do you forgive him for it? Is he ultimately a flawed but not necessarily evil character? Or has he been as selfish as the people that, as the person that created him in the first
He is a
place?
bit
And does he?
selfish, really. He's like, wait, this woman who's died, she's been murdered, sorry. Wake her up. I want her to be my girlfriend, wife. It is
Yeah.
a bit. Do you
Honestly,
remember?
look, I've only had my first handshake this morning.
Yeah. Do you remember that film? Is it called Passenger with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence? And if you remember that, it's like a space
Yeah,
film.
I remember, I saw that. That was in the Cineworld card days, man.
There's
I
like
was
a
seeing
horrible
everything.
bit, and it's played off as like being a bit romantic. But there's a horrible bit where Chris Pratt like wakes her up because he's bored. He's like, "Well, I've woken up. I was in a I was cryogenically frozen or something. I woke up. I'm just gonna wake this woman up because
He's got
I
the
need."
energy to wake up one extra person, and rather than Red Dwarf style, bring into life either the person that could help him or that he was closest to, like
Yeah,
Rimmer, he brings back to life like Uir. He like goes through like
yeah.
Tinder style and goes, Uir, do I fancy the most? Or like, didn't he have a crush on Jennifer Lawrence as you might well do? And then the
Yeah.
whole bit of that film is it comes across that he has done something selfish because he was
Mm.
lonely. I think he ultimately is forgiven by
Well,
almost
that's
dying in a
that's what it
radiation leak.
comes down to. I think my comparison was what I'm doing here is going, the male loneliness epidemic is not going to be solved by bringing anyone back to life.
It's not that
Might
hard, lads.
might
Just
be.
try and be nice to women. Then you won't be so lonely.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, right. So let's get into the plot. I mean, in terms of cast, we've got Jessie Buckley as Ida slash Penelope Rogers slash the bride slash Mary Shelley. She's doing it all. If you're impressed by Michael B. Jordan playing twins, you're gonna be even more impressed by Jessie Buckley playing everyone. I reckon she's Frankenstein. I reckon that ain't Christian Bale under there. That's Jessie Buckley. Christian Bale as Frank, Peter Sarsgaard as Jake Wiles. I thought it was David. I thought it was David Harbour for ages. I was like going, David Harbour? No, is it? Oh, it's a Sarsgaard. Not all them Sarsgaards turning up all the time. I don't know which one you are, but you're slightly menacing one, really sexy one, bog-eyed one. Sorry,
Yeah, there's clown one, dad one, muscleman,
Muscleman. Yeah,
and he's the last one.
and he's the last one. He is the David Harbour one. He looks
Yeah,
like David
he
Harbour.
is perfect gumshoe detective one, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like the detective from L.A. Noir.
He is LA Noir, isn't he?
Yeah.
LA Noir, a game of press the slightly wrong context, but I didn't want you to go so hard on that kid. I just wanted you to press him for another answer. It's like, you're a fucking liar, kid. What?
Annette Bening, who's amazing in this.
She's great.
Penelope Cruz, who's amazing in this.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal, who's not really in this, but he's fine.
He's the artist in this, isn't he? Doing his little song. He's a song and dance man.
Yeah. But honestly, like a great cast, and yeah, I think it's just a really good. It's not a debut feature either, is it? From Maggie Gyllenhaal, she's done one before. Is that right? I think she's done
You're
one.
asking, Ben. You
Oh,
see,
there we go. Sorry, let me find out. She has done. Oh God, it's her film. It's her filmography of film she starred in. I'm pretty sure she's done one before this. I read somewhere. So yeah, it's such a great sort of like debut film. And the thing is, with all these classic stories, when people go, "Oh, Frankenstein again," "Oh, Dracula again," or something, let's just get like a proper off the wall mad take on something like this that really just like swings for the fences and gets it right. Um, okay, so as we said, we start with Mary Shelley speaking from the afterlife, saying she had a story she wanted to tell after Frankenstein, but could not due to her death. To tell it, she possesses Ida, a woman living in 1936 Chicago. Um, and what's her deal? Because so she's like rubbing shoulders with the crime bosses and rubbing
yeah,
shoulders with the organized crime fellas, but she's had a
yeah.
gutsful, hasn't she? She's
And
had
she
a
has
gutsful.
she has Chekhov's oyster. I'll come back later.
Oh yeah, Chekhov's bloody oyster.
Is it-
Yeah.
She has have Chekhov's oyster. She goes,
I
oysters are
can't.
disgusting, mate. He goes,
I can't
have one.
stand watching anyone eat an oyster, even in a film or in real life. There's something ever so slippery in it.
Yeah.
We all. What did you say, Vicky?
You're all right.
All right. They're all right. I don't mind. Man. It's bloody aphrodisiac, isn't it? Is that true? Is that a rumor?
I've heard them described by someone which, if it hadn't already put me off, was the one someone described it as like chewing someone else's phlegm, and now I've never been able to even bring myself to try one.
Someone
Oh,
else's as well, not even your own.
Yeah.
oh, that's horrific.
So Ida, yeah. So what is Ida's? So she's obviously involved with this crime family, but with the women who have been silenced by the various criminals as well. She's like, I guess she was like, former friends she's friends with them or rubbing shoulders with the same people.
I'm not sure if she's meant to be in a relationship with one of the
I
fellas
think
or
I think she's like, oh, what's the word? Like an inside man.
yeah.
Like she's
Yeah.
working with the police
Yeah,
to
we
like
learned a
take
bit later that she is
She's
with
a
old
mole. She's a
she's the mole.
goddamn mole.
She's a rat.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
a rat. She's a mole. She's a vole. She's one of them rodents. Whatever.
She is currently a rodent type, gathering up the evidence for the old 5-0 so they can lift them.
But I guess when Mary Shelley gets in her brain, she starts having like involuntary outbursts, basically
Yeah, she
going.
venoms her, causing her to get basically tossed down some stairs and killed, right?
Yeah, so there's obviously like it's weird because this relationship with these people. So there's like informants and criminals and just twats, but like I don't know, they're all like this very flirtatious, very sexual. It's very like boozy, smoky 1930s Chicago. I bet it
Have a look at
absolutely
these new boots.
absolutely
Have
stinks in
some
there.
oysters.
Oh yeah, lovely new boots.
Mm.
Yeah, so she gets killed by the guy, and yeah, was that not really her partner, but I guess like kind of a love interest guy.
Yeah, it's sort of like a love interest slash like he's not the Mac Daddy of the mafia, but he's like a heavy, he's like a lieutenant, right?
Is he a heavy? I don't know about you, but I thought him and his mate weasels is what they were. little weasels. It says henchman, Clyde and James.
Yeah.
So Lupino is the crime boss. She starts like mouthing off to him, and he's obviously fuming. He's like, "Get rid of her. Get her out of here. If she was in Satan's Hollow, she'd be slung." She wouldn't be slung out. She'd be kept. She'd be a very loyal patron, wouldn't she?
God, I would protect her. Like, I would protect her. I'd be personal door staff for her.
And
Yeah.
the good thing is that, if some classic System of a Down comes on, she'll be able to do both bits with Mary Shelley in her head.
Yeah.
She'll be like, wake up! She'll be able to do both bits.
She'll be able to do both bits of Evanescence, 100%.
Yeah.
She'd be all over it. She'd be doing the Amy Lee and the unnamed man one. Who knows who that is? No one knows.
Right, this is the
Man.
sequel I need. I need Jessie Buckley as the bride doing Chop Suey by System of a Down. I think that'll be it for me. My life will be complete. I can die happy at that point.
What she should do is she should do one half of her face with like
With the
one of the
beard.
characters and the other one like
Yeah.
that. Like
Surgeon
my friend
Damon?
Chris once he used to have my friend Chris once had a great big bushy beard, and when he decided he was going to shave it off, he just shaved one half of it in the mirror before he shaved the whole thing, so he could do the beginning of Oliver by himself. Be like,
Was anyone else? Was anyone else in the house at this point? Was he?
No, but he
Like-
did it. He did it by himself in in an era before camera phones. So then just phoned me to explain it to
Oh
me.
hell yeah! Oh, I see. What were you saying? But yeah, we said about we want Jessie Buckley to do this. She could. That's the thing.
By the
This
time
is
we're
the
done here,
thing.
we'll have a whole album that she could have done both the parts of.
This is the
Bring Me
thing,
to
yeah.
Life would be so good.
She could do Bring Me to
feel like
Life. She could do
Any Linkin Park track.
Yeah.
any Linkin Park track.
Any Linkin
Absolutely.
Park track.
Would you do? I think the if she does in the end, the sort of vocal bits would be her regular like penny voice, and then the
Like, you know, the rapping bits.
the rap bits would be Mary Shelley. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how to try.
I mean, she's got the vocabulary for it as Mary Shelley. I feel like she could
Mary
rip
Shelley's
some bars.
there's some serious. She's like a walking thesaurus. I call you a walking thesaurus, Andy. She's a walking thesaurus. She's shouting words out and then saying the same thing again, just a different word.
A different word for it.
I respect it.
That
I
is
like
my
it.
film girlfriend, I imagine. That is a match made in heaven, me
Yeah.
and the ghost of Mary Shelley. Thanks so much.
Mm. So yeah, she gets. It says causes her to fall down a flight of stairs to her death. She's pushed, isn't she?
That is BBC levels of reporting about invasions. She was caused to fall down the stairs and die by the action of a careless gangster.
Careless gangster. He was reaching out to try and save her and accidentally pushed her down the stairs.
The man was allegedly involved in her stair falling incident.
Pretty brutal falling down the stairs, right? We get a close up of like ankle break, neck break. Yeah.
It's the way her body just slinks down the stairs. It's
Yeah.
like, oh God.
In a
Ghosted.
lovely orange number. She's like,
Yeah.
bury me in this and these boots, please.
You just got. I'm going to get your money's worth.
Yeah. Elsewhere in Chicago, Frankenstein's monster, aka Frank, arrives at the house of scientist Dr. Cornelia Euphronius. Is that right? Euphronius. Euphronius. Having read about her work on reanimation, he enlists her to create a companion for him after a century of loneliness. Oh no, a whole century of loneliness.
And she sort of goes,
Grow
"You
up,
can stay here-
Frank."
You can stay here if you like. All right, will you
Yeah.
make his wife though? And the argument basically goes, "Nah, I can't do that." He goes, "But
Go
will
on.
you?" And she
yeah. Go on.
I heard he was some
on.
sort of mad scientist. Maybe you're not so mad after all. And he's like, "Look, don't you say that I'm not a mad scientist.
Maybe you're
I'm all-"
just normal scientist.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm proper mad. I am. I'm proper mad. I'll do it. But what's her experience? So she revived her husband, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Revived her husband, but when he came back, he was dead boring. Was that right?
I think he didn't remember her and like didn't remember like it wasn't the same relationship dynamic as when he died, which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the man died.
Depends how long they've been dead for as well. I always think about films like this. If they've been dead for ages, you'd be like, oh, flipping hell. I don't remember a thing. I don't remember a goddamn thing. Maybe it's like a little bit of a sort of commentary on dementia or something, the way you shaped it then. Could be. Like older couple. I'll bring you back from the dead. Um
And then when he came back, he just wanted to like Captain America it and catch up on all the films he hadn't seen. But that's what Frank's into.
yeah. Frank's absolute Frank would have a monthly Odeon slash showcase slash review card. When's the next Jake Gyllenhaal on? When's Source Code on? When's the day after tomorrow on? These films came out 20 years ago.
Oh, but is Dennis Quaid going to make it to him in time before he's burnt all the books in the library? After the world aggressively froze.
When's Jake Gyllenhaal going to play an Arab prince in Prince of Persia?
We need a racially ambiguous actor who can play. There can't possibly be any Middle Eastern men we could hire to play the Prince of Persia. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Get Jake Gyllenhaal in there. He's got a proper man crush on Jake Gyllenhaal, hasn't he? Well, not Jake Gyllenhaal, sorry.
Why.
Ronnie Reed.
Is he going to be upset though? Obviously, Frank likes his heroic roles. When he plays Mysterio, is he going to feel betrayed by him? Mysterio, I thought you were a hero.
Mysterio,
second
he gave you those
glasses. You've turned bad.
He gave you those glasses. Oh,
Peter Parker trusted you.
We're going to jump ahead.
Crimson Beck.
Jump ahead very briefly, but I'm so glad that Ronnie Reed wasn't horrible to him.
Yeah,
he wasn't. Oh, he's kind of nice. He was kind of like he talked to him how you would just, I don't know, if you're accosted by a man on the street.
If you're accosted by a giant man who is as tall as he is wide.
Yeah, who had his nose like broken in 9 places.
Yeah,
God,
and his head stapled closed.
But weren't you so glad that he didn't? I was so worried that he was going to go like, "Get out of here, you stinky old staple-headed bastard."
Yeah. And then he was going to. Then the comparisons to Joker would be complete.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think he was really dismissive of him. Like it was very much of like, yeah, this is my party. Yeah, I definitely remember you.
Mm. But I feel like the way, like Frank, he takes things so literally and so at face value that even if I don't think he would get like the sarcasm or the kind of like if he was being like, oh yeah, all right, mate, bloody hell, can someone smell absolutely humming in here? It's because he got his jacket on inside out.
Yeah.
I like that. I respected that. I was like, yeah. I wish we could do that. I wish that was socially acceptable. Turn your pants inside out.
Bring back reversible clothes.
Yeah, bring
Need
back
it.
reversible clothes. Absolutely.
I mean, Frankenstein has basically he's been a little bit suckered by he hasn't had the same investment portfolio that Dracula has. Dracula probably put a tenner away in a few hundred years ago, and now it's just living off the interest forever. Whereas poor old Frank, obviously, he hasn't had the same kind of good, solid financial advice.
No.
He's just fishing for pennies.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
I do like when he's got like the thing covering his face because he looks like a highwayman, doesn't he?
Or the spirit.
Yeah, which is good. You know, it reminds me of that bit in The Dark Knight. Remember the bit in The Dark Knight when Heath Ledger turns up, definitely the Joker, with a mask on his face, and Two-Face like goes, "Oh, hello, nurse," and it's obviously the Joker because you can see the makeup, and then he goes,
It's not really, it's me, the Joker.
It reminds me of that because when he's got that thing covering his face, everyone's like, "All right, mate, how are you? Yeah. Can't complain. Oh my God, you're hideous! How can you not tell?"
And also, everyone in 1930s, in living memory after the horrors of World War One, I have never seen a disfigured person in my life. I am shocked to my core.
Yeah. There we go. So how do they choose upon Ida's corpse? Do they pretty much just go, who died recently?
They just go looking in the potter's field, don't they? Because I'm guessing they look at where those mafia blokes have stuck her in an unmarked grave or something, right? They've not gone down, Westminster Cemetery and dug up like a full grave. They've gone, right, someone's been buried here on the quiet. So actually, we're doing the world of organised crime a favour by unmurdering someone. for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So they choose Ida, and Frank always trying to like have a look at her. He's like, I want to see if I'm into her. Beggars can't be choosers, Frank.
And you literally did beg, so
Oh, you literally did beg, yeah.
it's all. But now we're in the moment. I don't want to go. I don't want to go like forever to be married to.
You'd have to stick with it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the the process obviously is slightly less extravagant than the Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein with the big electricity thing. Oh, it's a bit of electricity. It's a lot smaller scale, but it's still
Oh, it's
pretty
been
intense.
modernized in the 100 years that have gone. Imagine what a mobile phone will look like in 100 years. You'd be able to just stick it up your nose, tiny, this big. But
And and how does the black stuff kind of like they do explain why she gets stained by that particular
Yeah,
thing?
it's the stuff they use to revive her,
Yeah.
essentially, like the electricity like gives her the shock jolt, but I think the black stuff is what revives her and like replaces like
Mm.
her blood.
Her blood, okay, yeah.
And then you see it like pump through her and then the
Yeah.
electric shocks she wakes up
Because when
and
she
she
coughs it
just
up, that particular splatter just stays there now for the whole film.
Yeah.
God.
And there's like it's like dripping out of her ears as well. There's like it's like all over her. Yeah, it's just fascinating. And like they do comment on it being like, oh, the whatever serum has
Mm.
stained
has
you. I
stained
must I
your
must yeah.
stained your face. Quite lucky it went into pretty cool splash pattern though. Imagine if it looked like a cock on the side. No.
Have you
Well,
got
that's
a
unfortunate.
have you got a penis on your face? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I fell asleep. I was the first one to fall asleep at a party, lads. It's too late. I've been
Yeah.
jigglypuffed.
Someone
Absolutely
tattooed your
done
face with a
dirty.
dog. So she wakes up, obviously lost her memory, but she's still doing the old Mary Shelley things, which is nice. And again, it's a bit like a bit Tourettesy, I think, because she's almost like Mary Shelley saying what she thinks about particular situations. A bit in not very nice sometimes as well. So she's talking about Frank. But Frank says, "Oh, you lost your memory? Yeah, yeah. Something terrible happened when you lost your memory. But we're together. We're in a loving relationship. You lost your memory in an accident. What kind of accident? Don't worry. Don't worry.
An
So
accidental one.
the first thing we're doing is we're going to the cinema. That's it. Well, actually, I think
You love
they
Jake Gyllenhaal films.
yeah, they leave,
Donnie
don't they?
Darko, you never stop going on about it. Didn't like the second one so much.
He hates that one. So they go to the cinema. It says here they go to the cinema, but I think initially, they're trying to sort of
Well,
establish.
they're having a lovely breakfast, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they have a lovely,
They're
lovely
having
Oh,
breakfast as well.
she's having
Johnson
a bit of a
breakfast.
tantrum. She's
Yeah.
threatening to smash
Oh
the
yeah.
teapot.
Yeah,
And
she's pussycatting all the stuff, isn't she? She's like getting the marmalade, pushing it close to the edge of the table.
Yeah.
Let's try and unpick the sort of the theme that runs through it, which is her refusing to do something that anyone kind of wants her to do. Where she and in what word does she use? What does she say?
I'd prefer not to.
I would prefer not to. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, again, you can unpick that because in an instant it's just a line of dialogue, but the way it repeats, I guess, is that somebody who hasn't had her autonomy has sort of been forced to do A, B, and C has suddenly decided now with this little earworm of Mary Shelley, I'm actually just going to do what I want.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I vibe with that though. It's like
Yeah.
it's almost a case of it's like I've had to be ordered round for my entirety of my life as a woman, but also as someone who's semi-infiltrated with the mob.
Mm.
Even though she doesn't remember that, I think those habits are still ingrained of like holding your tongue.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, well, I don't care anymore. I'll say
Mm.
whatever the hell I want. Do
Yeah.
whatever the hell I
You just don't
want.
I've
remember
got a
anything.
ghost up me now, so I can do. I've gone mad.
What? And I don't even remember my name. Oh, your name's Penelope Rogers. It's like a proper Mrs.
I can
Doubtfire
imagine him looking
situation.
around like Annette Bening's desktop. There's a pen. And then they were like, pen.
Envelope.
Yeah.
An envelope.
Penelope, and
then two
two
fellas called
blokes called
Roger.
Roger walk past. Rogers.
Penelope It's a real Mrs. Doubtfire situation, isn't it? Oh, hello there. but yeah, it gives her that name. And yeah, what you said then about her kind of been ordered around. She was involved with the mob. The police are probably telling her what to do as well. I can't imagine in 1930s Chicago the police were going, if you want to be an informant,
It's fine.
you might want to be an informant. It's not very good
Completely
pay.
voluntary, of course.
Not very good pay. Lots and lots of overtime. Uh, very dangerous as well. Totally voluntary. So they leave and go to yeah. So I think initially, oh yeah, Annette Bening's character wants them to stay indoors, and he climbs in for a little window, like a
Yeah,
little
because they
cat.
go to the first time because the bride's ankle is broken when she first gets up,
Oh
and
yeah, of
she
course.
sends
So
him
they
up, but
give her
then
the Christian Bale's Dark Knight Rises leg brace.
yeah, instantly healed. Um, but then yeah, that cartilage, the unhealable cartilage, yeah, it's just mended actually. Just wear this.
End it now, yeah. You
You
got to
can
put it
kick
in.
through wall now.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But Frank climbs through the window while the bride is having a conversation in the shadow realm with the ghost uh, of Mary Shelley, who's been equally
Mm,
evasive. It's like, "What's your name?" I don't want to tell you, actually.
yeah.
Mm.
Not very helpful, is it? Come on, Mary. What have you got to lose?
I guess
Um,
it's that discovery of yourself, though, isn't it? It's like I can't give you all the answers. You have to find them for yourself.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I always get a little bit frustrated by when characters lose their memory in films because I think it is often used quite heavy-handedly in a story to kind of like show, not sorry, to tell you rather than show you. But I think here it's done pretty well.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely.
Who am I? I can't remember anything. I was trying to think of that as a concept. Like imagine genuinely imagine waking up and not knowing who you are. Baffling. I wouldn't know what to do, but I'd go by Penelope Rogers for the for the rest of time.
Penelope Rod, you could go and watch Usual Suspects again, couldn't you? See
Yeah,
what
you
happens
could.
in that. Watch it for the
You
first
could. You
time.
could watch him all. You could watch Sixth Sense. You go. I think Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is looking great in Sixth Sense. Guys are Soze. He's got a limp. Um,
And based on that same premise, she doesn't want to stay in the house. What does she want to do? She wants to get out. So Frank helps her climb over the fence and she acquiesces to have him spend a little bit of time with her. She goes, "What do you want to do then?" He goes, "I don't know, pictures? What's on?" Well, the new Jake Gyllenhaal's on. What we want to watch? Really watch Jarhead? No, 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 no. Roadhouse. Let's
Jake
get to
Gyllenhaal.
it.
Um, yeah. So they go to the cinema and then they go dancing.
Well,
What
he
do you think
does.
of the musical numbers in this film as well?
I absolutely adore that first dance scene, the with the underground club. Like it's very peak 1930s. I think it's very reminiscent to sort of this is a very niche thing I'm about to say now, but it's just it was the first thing I remembered when I first watched this. Very Weimar Republic underground cabaret, um,
Mm.
like post World War One Germany, pre World War Two Germany, this underground, dirty, grimy, just nature, and it's just
Mm,
I just thought it was incredible
yeah.
just to see. My jaw was on the floor from start to finish with it, and I think the aspect of like Frank sitting down with his little coconut cocktails, his little
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Reminded of you, Andy. Do you remember in lockdown, we met up for the first time in ages in lockdown, and we went, "Where are we going? Just gonna have a lovely beer." Yeah, two fellas having a beer, and you came out with a bloody lovely cocktail like that, and I've never respected you more.
You gotta like have a nice drink.
gotta enjoy a fruity cocktail. You're
Yeah,
only
Yeah, man.
human.
There's like,
hell yeah,
can you
I agree.
find? Can you possibly put more extravagant things in this place? A
Yeah,
place near me. Put half a
I
jar of chicken mix on the sides, and we got the little jelly turtles slurping them off the top of my cocktail. What a time!
I like Frank that he just knows what he likes because yeah, if he has been lonely for like a century, he's had a lot of time on his hands going to the cinema, little solo date at the cinema. We all love doing that. Going for a lovely solo drink. Yeah,
I mean, for all
he's
of
had
his
his way.
faults, what he has done is he hasn't rushed into a relationship. He's made sure he's comfortable with himself and who he is,
Yeah.
rather than diving straight into it.
Oh, we could all learn a little something from him, couldn't
Mm.
we?
Don't copy all of his relationship handling. tips here. Certainly don't meet someone that you've non-consensually brought back to life
Mm.
and lie to them about their identity. Could have been fine. Should not have been fine. But say, hey, look,
I
you've
get
been
so
murdered and we've brought you back to life. I was brought back to life myself, actually, although I'm an amalgamation of several dead bodies. But don't go into that now. It's not
don't
important.
go into that.
I'll help you find your memory, and in return, do you want to just live forever and hang out with me? Maybe.
Maybe
Yeah,
I do.
we'll
Yeah,
see.
sure, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Otherwise, Zodiac's on this afternoon. Do you want to come and see that with me at least?
yeah, it's good. It's good. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's not the lead. He's in an ensemble cast, but he's still
Yeah.
very very good in it.
Yeah. Oh, you've got some black slime on yourself. You might be interested in a little film called Life that Jake Gyllenhaal's in
God, yeah.
with
Oh
Ryan
no,
Reynolds.
don't talk about it. I hate that. I'm scared of that film. Don't
Well, the
like the
Venom
little
prequel.
creature's horrible. Okay, so as they leave this club, two men attempt to assault her, and again, they're just trying to walk away, aren't they? That's the thing. Even though Frank knows what he's capable of, or knows what they're both capable of. Again, just trying to leave, just trying to avoid that confrontation. But yeah, they push it too far. They're sort of grabbing Penelope, grabbing the
They're actively about
bride,
to assault her, right? And they've
actively about to assault her, and
pushed
then
Frank over, and like they think they've defeated this giant character, and then it's such explosive violence here when he basically Gears of Wars these two fuckers,
yeah,
and the violence in it, I think, is
it's
it's
a Ryan
really quite
Gosling drives.
remarkable. Yeah,
It's a drive stomp of the face, and we
yeah,
see
he
it. We
proper
see it up
curb
close.
stomps this guy, and I think the sound design here is deployed to absolutely incredible effect because he ragdolls that first guy against the wall, who
Yeah,
the performer basically just goes entirely limp after he has annihilated him. And then the thing that really stuck with me on this second bit is the second guy who, if there was another cover of it, it's this moment he realized he'd fucked up. And then he stomps this guy, and they cut the sound so abruptly. He is mid pleading for his life when he is immediately killed with a big size 14 boot that Frank wears, which early 1800s would have been, or early 1900s, hard to come by.
it's just pretty horrific that they're in it feels like a space which is a space for like outsiders or something, and you still end up with a couple of absolute douchebags.
Well, the strange thing as well is that after the murders have taken place and they've killed these two guys, we pan out to the wider street, and it is not an abandoned alley.
No.
There's all these people looking. There are some people even they can't have been taking photos. It's the early 1900s. They kind of people drawing charcoal sketches of them.
It's
And
Live Leak. It's what Live Leak was initially. This guy got his head stomped in by a Frankenstein.
so there's people there watching it who certainly my watching of this was they would not have intervened if those people had beaten him up and raped her. That would have been
Yeah.
something that they wouldn't have intervened with. But then when these characters have, and this is their sort of coming together as a couple, if you like, right? He's defended her in this terrible altercation, and then these people, those are monsters. And they were dressed as bloody Frankensteins.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, obviously, it ends up on the front of the paper. That there's these two murderers on the loose. They run away. So, oh yeah. So Frank initially tells Penelope to leave him. Leave me alone. I'm just going to run away and do what I always do and just just go off into the shadows. But she decides to run away with him because I guess she doesn't really know her purpose in this world at this stage. So she's like, what am I going to lose with this? Run away with this Jake Gyllenhaal fan. So they stow
Oscars
away
on next weekend. We can't miss that one.
yeah. They stow away on a train to New York City. Whatever you do, don't do another murder. Oh no, already done another murder. Kill the security officer or policeman, whatever he was. He finds them, and Mary Shelley like takes over, has a bit of an outburst, pushes him, smashes his head on a train line girder, whatever that thing is. I can imagine why you'd be
He
dead.
looked out the train window like Quentin Blake's pictures in that like "Be Safe at School" books we got when we were at school, Ben. It was
Talking
that
about
little
niche
Roald Dahl
references.
don't fucking die on a train book we got. Horrible.
And then meanwhile, Detective Jake Wiles and his assistant Myrna Malloy investigate the murders. What did you think of these characters, Vicky?
Loved Penelope Cruz as Myrna. I think to begin with, she irritated me not because of her, but because of the character. I was just like, just leave them alone. Let them just do their thing,
Yeah.
please. But her sort of character development throughout the film was absolutely incredible. And I think I might be jumping ahead slightly here, but it's like towards the end where it's like all the male police officers are interviewing someone and she just
Oh
goes to
yeah.
It was like, where's the nearest cinema? And she's like, thanks, and just goes. I'm like, that's
There's almost
intuitive.
like there's like parallels to Mary Shelley here. So obviously when Mary Shelley initially starts talking about publishing her books and stuff and the fact that her husband was so involved because of the way a woman writer was potentially thought of in the grander scheme of things. And in this is detectives and essentially she's the detective but he's playing up to being the detective just because the local police forces only take him seriously. Well, she goes off and does the actual detective work. So again, there's like that representation of gender within these positions of not even just power, but like the creative positions with Mary Shelley, but also the positions of sort of power um, in the
Yeah.
police force as well.
And I think, though I'm not a historian for this type of period, I think I could very much imagine that these instances would have definitely happened back in 1930s America, where there was women who wanted to be in these positions but just were just seen as secretaries. And I
Mm,
think a very, very small portion of those might have been given a swing to just give it a go and were actually really successful.
mm.
But we'll never hear about those stories until they are unearthed. And I think Penelope Cruz as Myrna might sort of be a catalyst for that, and we might see more of these
Yeah.
stories being unearthed. And yeah, I see the parallels with Mary Shelley, but I also see the historical parallels, and I think
Mm.
it was perfect.
I feel like
Really cool.
maybe
Yeah.
Myrna sees something of herself in the bride because she does feel like she wants to protect her in a way, not protect her from paying for her crimes, but almost protect her from just getting murdered in
Mhm.
cold blood.
I
What are you gonna
really
say, Andy?
like this character, and again, I think one of the we talked about it. Just picked up a load of Oscars yesterday. One of the strongest bits of Sinners is how much depth was in characters that you could imagine most of the characters in that film having their own adventures and their own things. Give me a series of Penelope Cruz as you know what? Again, give it a break. Don't bring the X-Files back. Give me a story, give me a 1930s paranormal investigation slash detective work,
Oh
Penelope
yeah.
Cruz detective set of stories. What's happened is this the Mothman, he's been framed for insurance fraud. Well, don't you worry.
Not
Actually, no,
again.
sure, sorry, I fucked that up. It should have been arson.
Yeah, oh yeah, that would have been a lot better. You that's right. Can have another go at it.
Edit
Um,
it. Yeah.
so yeah, so the detectives follow the pair to New York. Um, what should we do? Should we lay low? I gotta
Oh,
get
End
to.
of Watch is on in a
I gotta
little
get
bit.
to the cinema.
Let's go and see that.
What I find really interesting about that, and I think it's something that's not been picked up by a lot of people, but since thinking about it, I feel like this might be a huge swing. But you mentioned that the bride is quite Tourettesy with how her vocabulary is and the switching between Mary Shelley and
Mm,
Ida slash the bride. And Frank is very clearly a neurodivergent character through and through. Like
yeah.
he has his comforts, and I think him going to the cinema when they get to New York, it's all spiraled to he's lost his clipping, his little newspaper clipping,
Oh
his little
God,
safe
yeah. Oh
thing.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
And he's realized that he doesn't have his clipping and he's having this panic attack, this
Yeah.
overstimulus. And she's like, what can I do? And he was like, let's go to the cinema. And
Mm.
it's like, there we go. He's
He
got his
pretty much describes a panic attack, but like doesn't quite understand what it is. He says it's about his breathing, doesn't he? He
yeah, it
says,
says it hurts, but it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
we view that and it's like a panic attack can hurt. It feels
Yeah.
your chest is tight.
Has he
And
just like got that from whatever body part he's kind of like had
yeah.
whoever was dead before and yeah maybe potentially again it's really interesting they are like a neurodivergent couple
Yeah, but in
with
like two different
Yeah.
spaces. And it's like him trying to understand her and why she's the way she is, and her trying to understand him and why he's the way he
Yeah.
is. And sort of this culmination as it goes
Mm.
round of them learning each other
Yeah.
essentially.
Initial frustration, but then they start to understand each other. Yeah.
Is this the scene as well where she goes, "Oh, do you want to? If you're fed up, do you want to have some sex?" And he's like, "Fucking hell, I've only had my first handshake a couple of days ago. I'm not ready. It's too much too soon."
Did anyone think in this instance that he was going to maybe be a eunuch, maybe not have the right equipment? I thought that was what it was going to come down to. I thought they were going to go,
I thought I
well,
was
yeah. Well, unfortunately, Dr. Frankenstein, when he's put me together, he left me
A
with
big old
smooth,
prude. He's old Billy Kellogg over there saying,
smooth
"Nah,
sheath down
can't."
there.
well, if you think the Del Toro's Frankenstein, and it's the creature saying like, "Oh yes, I want a partner. I can't be alone forever," and he's just there like, "What? To reproduce, to procreate?" And it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh wait, that's something you don't ever really think of." It was like, can they?
Yeah.
And
If
it's
all,
the
if all
same
their
with
other
this.
bodily fluids are anything to go, they'll be spuffing black sludge. So I think we're okay.
Oh dear. Oh God.
Yeah.
People coming in after the symbiote's got me up. No, no, don't worry, it's
And
fine.
it stains your skin. So eventually you're gonna have to get a UV light on your face to see what you look like.
But no, I was in the same boat. I thought there wasn't gonna be anything down there.
Yeah, I thought he
But
was gonna go, sorry, but I ain't got the equipment, and then it was just gonna be a big story about trying to find a strap on for him. To be fair
Go
though,
back to
they're
Annette
not.
Benning's house. I've got a secondary request.
I've got
Little bit niche.
a little bit niche, but I don't suppose you could. Um, they're in hiding. They're not doing a very good job of it, are they? The police are obviously going, well, let's go to the cinema just to stake it out and see if they
This is
turn
when
up.
they go to.
They find the clip in. They see it's got Jake Gyllenhaal, and there they go.
What's
He loves
this?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ambulance is on this weekend. That's one of his more niche films.
Oh my God, that is incredibly niche. And I think I've seen that one.
Ambulance is on in a double bill with Everest. Let's get and see it. And
Oh.
then while they're there, there is there's a woman being harassed by her partner
Hmm.
in the most crowded cinema in the world.
These cinemas, what the hell? Go on, Vicky.
don't they go to a different film? They don't go to the Jake Gyllenhaal one.
Yeah, they go
She's
to like a
"Let's
zombie
go to-"
film.
Yeah, they go to. I think it was White Zombie as well. So it was the Bela Lugosi White Zombie,
Oh my
like
God.
3D clip. And yeah, there's the guy harassing the girl, and you just, I got enraged. So let alone how she was feeling. Christ.
Frank
Christian
wasn't
Bale's just
engaged at all. He was like,
seeing
it's boring, only like Jake Gyllenhaal films.
I can imagine myself in this one, though. I can imagine you in it as well. But yeah, she basically does a Mark Corrigan bashes their heads together, doesn't she?
She's Mark Kerrigan gets Mr. Cutty Knife and it's like
Yeah, and they get basically, and again, the kind of those parallels, especially the parallels with the classic Frankenstein story, basically get chased away by an angry mob. Did 3D
Yeah.
glasses exist in 1936? Yeah.
I guess it's just paper and plastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess
I mean,
so,
bringing
yeah.
people back to life from the dead exists in this 1936.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
Does Avatar exist in this?
This little guy, what a squealer though. So he's being horrible
Oh.
sex pest in the cinema, and then as soon as he gets told off, he goes, "Oh, it's the Frankenstein murderers! Quick, call
In
the policeman!"
1936, if a murder had happened like 2 days before, a different city would not know about it, would
Yeah.
they?
Well, this is the thing. I found it really interesting because I thought they were going to get away and they were going to be under the cloak of darkness, because I thought the detectives would have seen like, oh, they're watching a horror film and they're all running out screaming, monsters! It's like,
Yeah.
of course. And
That
then
would be the
it's not
marketing
like that.
campaign. This is like Terrifier people thrown up in the cinema. Some people ran out of this. They were too scared.
Someone fainted. Someone fainted, fell over, broke their neck.
They
Dead.
said there was a bloody monster in there. Whoa. There is, isn't there?
3D glasses were too much, guys. We took it a step too far.
3D glasses get banned for the next decade because they make films too scary. But they watch that film with the trains driving towards you. It's like Muppet Babies where they open the door and that Darth Vader's coming towards them like, shit, fucking hell.
It's like War of the Worlds when everyone listened to the radio and went, aliens?
What?
It's fucking happening, guys. It's happening. It's happening. It's the end of the world.
It's got to be a big
Idiots.
story. They've got Orson Welles to do the news.
So they get ran out by a mob and they end up at a high class party, hiding away. Luckily, just turn your jacket inside out and you'll become instantaneously wanting to help. That's fine. So Frank basically goes around serving, what's he serving?
Shrimp
Champagne, hors
cocktail.
d'oeuvres. Runs into Ronnie Reed, expresses his adoration.
Bloody, I loved you in Velvet Buzzsaw.
So he, that's pretty good. We covered that on the show, Andy. He fangirls in a little way, Vicky, like you said, you didn't want to fangirl over Art the Clown. He doesn't take that advice. He literally goes, "I absolutely love you, Jake Gyllenhaal. You're great. You're brilliant. You're my
Saved
favorite.
my life.
You saved my life." I can help myself think if I met Jake Gyllenhaal, I'd have to say the same.
Just trying to bond with him. What's your favorite Jake Gyllenhaal film? Mine's this one.
Mine's the one where you were like the police responder on the phone. Remember that one, Jake Gyllenhaal?
Mine's Remain. Mine's Love and Other Drugs.
How many Jake Gyllenhaal films have we mentioned? More. This should be your specialist subject on the floor, whatever it's called.
What was it? You should have like a counter. Like anytime Jake Gyllenhaal is mentioned, just do a counter.
Other films. We've not even done like Brokeback Mountain yet either.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we've not. That's Christian
It's
Bale's
coming.
favorite. That's the one he gets to because I loved it. I loved you when you were a gay cowboy. That was my favorite. So what happens? Oh yeah, he begins to dance like Reed does in his films, and it kind of turns into like this musical number. And again, is this real? Is this maybe like something that's in their heads in this particular moment? Unreliable narrator thing. I kind of like what I like about their mania is that it's like the shared mania between the two of them. And again, they're more neurodivergent than they are mentally unwell. I feel like again, I don't want to make those comparisons to the Joker, but I'm going to. It's very heavy-handed in that they're mentally unwell. They're psychopaths. They're murderers. Do you know what I mean? It's very on the nose with that. Whereas I think with this, it feels a little bit more fun. They only seem to kill when they're like, I guess, backed into a corner or killing people who have done them wrong, rather than just committing various acts of murder. So yeah, and this is the putting on the Ritz number. Is this putting on the Ritz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love a bit of putting on the Ritz.
Putting on the Ritz. Yes, it's pretty good. Do. And then the police enter. I do like how the bride just pops a cap in someone's ass who just like gets too close to her.
Although, what's this fella doing? So everyone is at in a big standoff. Everyone knows they've got a gun. Jake Gyllenhaal is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, please." What are you sorry for? He's like, "Oh no, he's Joe Pesci and me before this man was even born."
Funny how? What do I amuse you?
So then he is apologizing, and then this policeman just walks in and goes, "What's all this then?" And then gets shot. He's like,
I mean, the only thing
"You
that's
think
not
everyone was
believable...
doing like a time stop challenge as they walked in?" It's like, no
the only
one's
thing
moving or saying anything.
The only thing that's not believable is that they would have just opened fire on her immediately, wouldn't they? In this instance, but they still managed to get away, don't they?
Oh yeah. At the end of the day, it's still America.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they shot a police officer. Did you? You're done for. So yeah,
And they've got to save Jake Gyllenhaal as well. How else will he go on to release Spirit Untamed if they don't?
God. You're not even paying attention to reviewing this film anymore, Andy. You're just sat there thinking.
I feel like I need to have a clicker.
You do need a clicker. This has become. It was funny to start with, Andy, but it's become a problem. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. So it says here that the partygoers dance as they're all possessed by Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley doing some sort of like group
possession now.
Group possession now, yeah. Detective Wiles.
Mary Shelley is basically Gozo at this point.
Yeah. Oh God.
She's Beetlejuicing the entire.
So when Penelope holds Reed at gunpoint, she calls out men in attendance for abusing women, and I guess she kind of brings forth the names of the women that have all been silenced, who were obviously trying to bring bring the mob to justice. And this is when what I didn't expect this either, but Wiles recognized her before, didn't he?
Yeah.
And now he recognizes her as Ida, and he says her name, and she's like, "Oh, what does she say?" She says something really good. Oh, what does she say? Oh God, Ida. Oh, what is she puts the word Ida into a sentence, and it's really good. She
I'd
like
rather
says,
fuck you up right now.
Ida rather fuck you up," or something like that. Yeah, that ain't it. That ain't it. But it's similar to that. Oh yeah, she kills a police officer, and then she and Frank escape the city in a stolen car. Grand Theft Auto out of there. Um, and again, like their crime spree. It says Penelope and Frank's crime spree, but like they've stolen a car, fine, and not very good for the person who's got to ring the insurance up. Yeah, I've had my motor stolen, gutted. But the people they're killing, uh, I've got it coming. Do you know what I mean? Like when that police officer, when he stops them in, and he's like, and again, I thought in this instance maybe he was going to be. He didn't seem that bad initially. I was like, oh God, another another sexual assaulter. And then Frank kills him, and I'm like, well, these people, like even the police officer to a degree, like they had it coming. Like I don't think anyone would have died if anyone just like left them to it. You know what I mean? They just want to go to the cinema. They want to have a lovely dance. They want to maybe or maybe not have sex eventually. They do have sex eventually, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've seen 2 Jessie Buckley sex scenes in like 2 weeks. Same position as well. I was like, come on, Buckley. Try something else.
Miss the classics.
Stick to the. To be fair, just stick to the classics. It's always a good time. So their crime spree becomes well publicized. Lupino, who is the mob boss, recognizes her in a newspaper, and this is where we get a little bit more with the organized crime stuff and those 2 guys who were like apparently the heavies. Basically says you failed to silence her, and one of you is going to have to kill her again. And oh yeah, and he just kills one of them. Why does he kill one of them?
That's to make a message. Just there,
Yeah.
like, I'll kill him, and then at least you know that if you don't actually
Yeah.
kill her and give me her tongue, then the same will happen to you, as
And
usual.
again, jumping ahead, he didn't really try and bring the tongue. I'd feel like if it was life or death and I had to bring the tongue, I'd make sure I did. But he like kills her and legs it. Sorry, bit of a
I'm
spoiler.
a bit carrot and stick with my employer. I would shoot him to go, well, that's it now.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go down.
It made me kind of think, oh, I'd like to see a more expanded version. Because I think like the message here is good, but I feel like the kind of the way that people are inspired by the bride needed a bit more time to kind of really, really build. I feel like that kind of happens when we see the various women in the city kind of like dressed like her and stuff like that. I like it. I think it's a really good visual, and I think it is really strong in terms of the messaging as well. I don't know. I wanted something else, and I'll get to it as well. But even the way the film ends, I feel like they could have really made the most of that. Maybe the bride, kind of like calling upon these people to assist in some way. I don't know. And
There's a subtlety to it, right? You see
there
more
is
people
subtlety
with the
to it, yeah.
marks on their face for the rest of the film, even though
Yeah.
even though that political movement doesn't, they don't save the day at the end. They don't hand solo them in the last minute.
Mm.
Yeah, they do get Lupino though, from what I
Yeah.
remember.
Oh no, of course.
Yeah.
But again, Lupino is a post-credits sequence when they get him. And I'm
Yeah,
just like, I want to see that in the film. I want to see it. I don't know. What I want to see is maybe we get to a point where Lupino has got the bride and he's ready to kill her and he's ready to just like, I don't know. And then maybe she's talking about women being silenced and what he's been doing and stuff like that. And then maybe somehow everyone in the scene that we think is on his side for whatever reason turns around and it's these women. I don't know. I was
What we
kind of
want to
like
do is
thinking
Lupino should
about
have
what I
been
wanted from
just
it.
popping out to the cinema. Maybe he thinks, well, thank goodness all that business with the bride is over, and he's just gone to sit down to watch Bubble Boy, and he's
For
thinking,
fuck's sake. I've had enough.
and then everyone else in the cinema is all got the bride bit on there. Gone on.
They're all everyone turns around. They're all Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
mm. Yeah, I think I would have loved to see a bit more of like the cult of the bride.
That's
And then
yeah, that was the word I was thinking of. Cult. I couldn't think of it for some reason.
yeah, and then them just causing havoc in the city. I
Yeah.
think if mob rule is the law in Chicago, let there be mob rule.
Mm.
Like go balls to the walls with it. I think I want to see girls covered in black makeup shooting people. I think that's like,
Mm.
great. Sounds like my idea of a great night. Um, yeah, I think
It's pretty Satan's. It's a
Blowing people
standard
away.
Friday night on Satan's Hollow, isn't it? That's what you're saying.
well, I just think I don't work there anymore.
Because
Something
I
Tuning
will say, in terms of like the cult thing, like they tried to do it with Joker, didn't they? But it never truly resonated with me because I was like, well, why? Why would people get behind this person? Because the understanding of him being like an outsider and someone who's been victimized by the world essentially is only something he really knows. It's never been until he went on the chat show and then did his whole spiel, which I didn't really like. But
Mm.
the whole cult of the Joker thing, like I never really, I thought it's a really cool idea if it's done correctly, and I feel like all the pieces are in place here for that to have been done correctly. But it was such a minor plot point rather than being ever present. It was kind of like, oh yeah, and there's this cult knocking about, and that was
Mm.
it.
I think what I would have liked to see from it is see Penelope Cruz as Myrna, like head this
Oh
cult of the
God, yeah,
bride as
that could
like
have been
this
interesting.
full 180. Because
Mm.
it's what at the end she tells all of the police officers to leave and Dr. Euphronius to
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, yeah,
do what she does best.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like you could have taken Myrna and been like, she's now heading this, and it's this
yeah,
massive feminist movement, and you see that, and potential for maybe a sequel or a spin-off.
I think there's an
mm.
alternate take of this film where right now what we see is that Myrna does establish herself within the police, right? She gets the respect she deserves. She's recognized as a detective and she exercises that authority in a world where, an alternative take of this film where she, despite being given this position by her predecessor, doesn't get the respect she deserves. Maybe that's when she goes down that path instead. I like where we got, but I would have equally enjoyed what you've
Yeah.
described.
Yeah, it was kind of what me and the what I was discussing, just thinking like it's all there, but sometimes it just doesn't quite connect in the way you kind of want it to. Um, so what happens? They travel to Niagara Falls. I think they try and find reports of various murders, sightings of the pair were in cities where Reed's films were set. So clearly, um,
We're on the tour.
they're on the tour. Frank's basically going like, let's go everywhere where one of my mate Reed's films were set. So this prompts Malloy and Wiles to travel to Niagara Falls, where they find the couple, and this is where Wiles confronts them and basically informs Penelope of her previous identity. Again, I'm glad they didn't do too much of this. There's like a very very quick scene where we see Wiles kind of like with Ida, like a sort of a
Yeah.
classic dead wife memory scene.
Yeah.
The sun, the wind in her hair, like being yeah. It was
Is
one of
this
those
before
scenes.
or after Chekhov's oyster has come back up where Frank is telling the bride about and we got engaged and we had to sell you your engagement ring actually because we had to get
Within like 5 minutes.
loads of oysters traditionally very cheap back in the day. But we had you chockers for oysters, you bananas from you can't get enough of them. She it kind of rattles something loose, like don't remember my name or where I'm from in life, but I do
Yeah,
remember the oysters are fucking disgusting.
yeah. Phlegm,
Yeah, and then she gets
salty
this
phlegm.
she gets this memory given back to her, but as he approaches, she shoots him in the foot.
Yeah, shoots him in the foot, uh, and then flees. And then they go to the drive-in, go to a lovely drive-in to watch Jake Gyllenhaal in Enemy. That's a good one. That is a good
Digital enemy.
one. Yeah.
I'm really hoping to see Moonlight Mike, but not screening.
Um. So they go to a drive-in, and this is where he tells her the truth of her origins. You were killed. We dug you up, brought you back to life. Now, now you're with me. beautiful, beautiful Frank. Lovely, not smelly Frank.
Yeah. Sound as a pound. Varied interests, Frank.
Yeah. And this is when
Well, Myrna has unpicked the solution to it. The rest of the police do catch up with her.
yeah,
And just when she was hoping to like quietly approach them, then the rest of the police, idiots, go in guns blazing.
gums blazing.
And
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah.
Doesn't the little mob man, the little henchman, doesn't he shoot
yes,
Frank first?
that's
And
it.
then
Actually, you're right.
Yeah,
Then the
yeah,
police
that is
come.
exactly what happens. Yeah.
That weasel.
Again, he's not going to get their tongue like acting like that. Yeah, I killed her. Have you got her tongue? No.
It is in the paper. I'm sorry, even though I, as the mob boss, can see in the newspaper that you've done my job. Did ask you to bring a tongue, so I'm afraid I have to kill you.
Um,
And it's not like he can bring any tongue either, because hers is stained black.
yeah.
So it's like
I don't think Lupino's going to know, though, is he? He's a bloody idiot, this guy. Well, not an idiot, but just an evil bastard.
you never
So Wiles, when he got shot in the foot, he's like, I'm written out of this film now.
Is that, well, actually, I have also revealed that I've slept with this witness, but I've done the kind of resigning where you get to choose who replaces you, and I choose you.
Yeah. I choose you, Penelope Cruz. Now get out there and
Solve
be
this
the
murder.
police detective this case deserves. Oh yeah, at the driving as well. Clyde shoots. No wait, yeah, shoots Frank when he tries to bloody propose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he shoots him in the head, doesn't he? And then
Yeah.
she just loses it.
Yeah, she goes crazy.
Mhm.
I think she calls herself the bride now, doesn't she? Because I think she's saying like, I'm not Penelope, I'm not Ida,
not
I'm
the
the
Bride
I'm
of
the fucking bride.
Frankenstein. Yeah,
And
just the
she's
bride.
just the bride.
bride.
Icon. Absolutely iconic.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like, I'm not the name that was given to me. I'm not the name I was in the past. I'm not even like bride of someone, you know. I am just the bride. That is me. That is my identity. Um, so yeah, but she does after Frank's been shot, she takes him back to the laboratory, and Malloy follows as well. But Euphronius refuses to reanimate Frank, citing that her attempts to reanimate her husband went wrong, leading her to have to kill him. I'm like, Frank's pretty messed up already. If he's been knocking about for a century of loneliness, I reckon reanimating him another time would be all right.
Yeah, and also we know that he's into it. He loves being brought back to life.
But he loves being reanimated. He can't. Not a day goes by when he don't get reanimated again.
He's
Well,
looking
then-
forward to the day that he can see Guy Ritchie's The Covenant in good faith.
I was going to say, he'll get a new actor that he's obsessed with,
Yeah.
and then go through all of their
Yeah.
films.
He'll
He'll
watch
really get
Brokeback.
into John Malkovich.
I was going to say Heath Ledger. He's going to watch Brokeback Mountain and go, "Oh, oh, I've never thought of that. This guy's even better. A Knight's Tale, Something to Say About You,
Yeah.
The Dark Knight. Who's that there under that mask? Ah!"
He'll be imagining himself as that nurse.
Yeah. Clyde breaks into the laboratory and fatally shoots the bride. And again, it's pretty iconic. Well, it's a great visual. How she like
Basically, platoons her.
platoons, yeah.
Yeah.
Slumps dead over. Oh yeah, she gets like slumps dead over Frank's body, which is pretty iconic. The police arrive. That was when Malloy orders them to search for Clyde. I thought they weren't going to find him because they were
There
ever
was
so
a fella climbing down a
nonchalant.
drain pipe over there, and they're like,
You
"Oh,
better go and get that guy going down the fire escape. And they went, who's this? Who's ordering us? Who's ordering us around? She goes, me, you mugs.
Does that bit from Jingle All the Way where she just picked up a badge and was like, I've never seen such sloppy police
Oh,
work in all my
yeah, that is good. The Big Show's not in this bit. So then Euphronius decides to revive the couple, basically encouraged by Mallory, and
They just have a
then
little wink, like,
Mary, the sort of like maid person who looks a lot like Angelica Houston. I thought.
Yes, I thought it was her.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
she's not tall enough.
No,
But I was like, maybe.
it
But
was a ringer. It was a dead ringer. I was like,
definitely.
excuse me. In the same way that the other Sarsgaard was making me feel like he looked like David Harbour, yeah, I was getting the same vibes from this, and I was thinking, What's wrong with me? I'm
Taj
usually good at
Easton,
identifying
really?
people, but I'm well confused.
I like how she's got used to Frankenstein over the course of the film. Though
Yeah.
first time she sees Frank, she's like, ah! And then afterwards she's like, all right.
All right, Frank. What's that? Reanimated again, is it? Fair
What
shout.
I love about this whole thing as well is that it's in the traditional aspect, it's Dr. Victor Frankenstein who's made the bride and his henchman Igor. And in this sense, it's Dr. Euphronius who's a woman and her maid who is essentially her Igor. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all of the sort of gender roles and gender stereotypes from like the classics and the other adaptations have all been flipped on its head and they're all women
Mm.
now. And I'm like, slay.
Yeah. No, Slay, I agree, it is good. Very like incredibly unique. That's the thing.
Mm.
Like they could have easily set this in modern day and it could have probably like not hit the mark. I just feel like a 1930s Chicago thing just
Mhm.
just works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, she decides to revive the couple. Outside, the police arrest Clyde. We see bright lights shining from the laboratory, and inside we just see the corpses hold hands.
Yeah. So
And that is when in
like,
that post credit sequence, Lupino apprehended by Wiles and the female rioter. So again, I guess he felt like he'd let down Ida, in a way. So he's kind of like taking it upon himself to go. Female rioters inspired by the bride. Let's go and tattoo Lupino's face. Kill him, I hope as well. But
yeah.
Gotta make it suffer a bit first.
yeah, get him to suffer. There we go. That is and it ends with Monster Mash. Now, I have seen this instance like properly taken the piss out of. Like I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter saying you won't believe what song this film ends with, and I was racking my brains thinking, what could it be? What could it be? And this didn't cross my mind. But when it happened, I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. I loved it. If you throw Monster Mash into any film humanly possible, I don't care. I'm gonna have a great time. I was just there dancing in my seat. And like there's loads of other people in the cinema being like, what's she doing? And I'm like, I'm having a fabulous time is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think it's
Having a
just.
great time.
What
Yeah,
did you
and people
think?
go,
What did you think,
oh, it's
Andy?
so out of place, but that no, it's absolutely in place.
Yeah.
What would be out of place would be Star Trek in or the Jurassic Park suite or just any other completely irrelevant song. The Monster Mash is very much on
It
board
worked.
for a Frankenstein.
I feel like if you weren't vibing with this film anyway, you won't vibe with that song at the end. The fact that if you were vibing with it, this song is like, it's just unique. It's chaos, isn't it? That's the thing.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
chaos. You wouldn't expect to have that on there, but I like it. If again, it feels like a real swing for the fences. Even that music choice, and then we're gonna have Monster Mash at the end. Like there probably were people going because it's like a $90 million movie. There probably were people going, "Oh, really? Can we not
Mm.
have someone a little bit more highbrow?" No.
Where's Skrillex? Shut up.
Skrillex.
Charlie XCX didn't do the soundtrack for this film, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, is that?
Come on. I liked it.
Give
It-
it a
I
rest.
love.
I was into it.
I
Um,
think with
sorry, go
Monster Mash at the ending as well, I think um there is a lot of funny things that happen in this film. Like they're very small, but there are bits in it where you will laugh. And I think it's a film that doesn't take itself too seriously. It talks
on.
about serious topics, but it doesn't take it too seriously. It has fun with it. Like as we have for the entirety of this, joked about Christian Bale's love for Jake Gyllenhaal throughout the entirety of this. Like
Yeah.
we can laugh at those aspects of the things that they're obsessed with, and I think if they ended on a really serious song, I think it would have just killed the mood for the entire
Yeah.
film. Ending on it just ended
Yeah.
on a high note.
It knows what type of film it is, doesn't it? It knows that it's obviously the message at heart and obviously all the Me Too stuff. I mean, she even says Me Too towards the end as well, doesn't she? Um, it's all like we're supposed to understand this character's plight, but at the same time, it is about an undead couple. It is a Universal monster movie from a
They
new
don't have the
from a new
best
point of
start. He
view.
does Chris Pratt in Passengers to begin with, but they come to terms with it and they have something real
Mm.
by the end.
Yeah, there we go.
And uncommonly, you know what Frank does do? He apologizes for
Yeah.
being wrong. He's like, I'm so sorry. I lied,
I'm so
actually.
sorry I've done that. Yeah, accountability, Frank.
Yeah.
That's right. The accountability king that we all need. Okay, so shall we rate the movie? So usually what we do after discussing the movie in great length, we'll rate the film from A to F. Pluses and minuses are allowed. Rate good or rate bad. Vicky, where would you rate The Bride on that?
I think, oh, that's really difficult. I'm going to say a very solid B plus, only because I wanted to see more of like the cult of the bride. I really wanted to see
Yeah.
where that went. But otherwise, it's a flawless film, and I think it's utterly fantastic.
Mm. Um, I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I was gonna go for B plus. I'm again. I feel like it doesn't end where I think it should. I feel like when they get brought back to life, then there's a finale somewhere. That's the end. But then they get brought back to life. They've got the backing of the police and maybe the backing of the public now. You know, they've been villainized and they're like these killers, but now suddenly something's happened where they're the heroes we deserve, and then there's an ending. You know, you might think that's a bit cliche, but I kind of needed that. So for me, I love the vibe of it. I
Samuel
think
Jackson should turn up and tell me putting a team together is what you're up to.
we're putting a team together. We've got a werewolf fella, we got old Dracula, we got the
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man. Yeah, yeah, we got them all covered together. Um, and again, that might be a bit cliche, but I was locked in, and I feel like the performances are great, cinematography is great, just the visuals, everything about it. Everything. What I've loved from the very start with this film is the posters, these really striking posters of like the sort of the half face of the black and white, the orange text, that big orange text, the bride, the motherfucking bride, that stuff. And I know they've blocked out in some things, but still, I just think it's been so bold, and I just feel like if Maggie Gyllenhaal can just keep making films like this and just making these huge, huge decisions to go, we're getting Mary Shelley to possess the main character. We're
Yeah.
getting Monster Mash at the end. I'm going to cast me brother as
Maybe
as
like this
essentially.
counts as your birthday present, all right?
Yeah. Do you want to be in this film? Yeah. Christian Bale's going to be in love with you. Yeah, all right. Okay. We've done Heath Ledger's in love with me. Now we're going to do Christian Bale's in love with me. Fine. So I think B plus. It could have been an A.
Mm,
It just needed someone else, but I can still absolutely
mm.
agree that I loved it. Andy?
We've had the horror hangout effect on this one, Ben. I came in for this episode probably about to give it a B. You sneaked a plus in there out of me with talking about it, I think. We've explored
Nice.
it a little bit more. I've had time to build up a little bit more love for it. I can't disagree with
No.
anything that you said, and I think I'll reiterate the point I made at the beginning is we need more films like this that have deliberate choices for good or for ill. If
Mm,
there's something that I totally get it, particularly the Mary Shelley stuff, there will be people who say the film could have existed without that and it would have made any difference. But it is mark of a decision and it's a mark of a creator who has a story they want to tell and has the room to get it. Like we don't talk about in 20 years and beyond films that were uncontroversial and had elements of it that everybody universally thought was a safe bet. We want films that do something a little bit different, and that is what I am
mm.
rewarding with the film that I really, really enjoyed. And it also passes the test of will it be a film if I'm sitting down with my wife at some point? You'd actually enjoy this because she doesn't watch as many films as I do. I only recommend films to her that I actually think she will really enjoy. That it will feel like she's had a good time and it was worth a sitting still for an hour and a half for. It's good stuff.
I don't
For
know why this is
context, everyone
just
else will understand. Sorry, Ben. Is
sorry.
I'm probably rating this somewhere between a Prisoners and a Nightcrawler for me. That's where in the Jake Gyllenhaal Hall of Fame it would sit.
Do you know what her arc, the bride's arc, reminded me of a little bit? Not entirely, and I know we've mentioned some superhero properties already, but Catwoman in Batman Returns. Just that kind of like death to life, to reclaiming her identity. It just reminded me of that a bit. and like
Yeah.
that, and that is like a classic
Snub Christopher Walken
female
to death, and
rage.
it's exact parallel.
Yeah, it just reminded me of that a bit. Okay, brilliant, amazing. Thank you for joining us, Vicky. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've had a lot of fun discussing The Bride. Where can our listeners keep up to speed with you online, but also, I guess, pick up Starburst magazine as well, right?
Yes, so definitely pick up Starburst magazine. You can get them from most retailers where you can pick up a magazine. You can also grab it off the website as well. You can follow me on Instagram at zombie.queen, and you can also follow me on TikTok at the Clown Crypt.
Amazing. Hell yeah. Well, we will put links to all of that stuff in the show notes, of course. Thanks everybody for listening. If you enjoyed the show, become a patron over at patreon.com/horror hangout. Thanks to all of our patrons. Thanks to Taj Easton for our theme music. Thanks to Acast and Rusty Quill for hosting the show. Please consider giving us a rating or review. Head over to Fred's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, or horrorhangout.co.uk for everything in one place. Next week, as mentioned, our first official video game focused episode. We're discussing Resident Evil 9, Resident Evil Requiem with Elizabeth Bishop. Looking forward to that. There we go.
Awesome. Do you want me to do a little sign off there, Ben?
If you can do a sign off that involves at least 5 Jake Gyllenhaal films, then I'll give you it.
I'd prefer not to. I've done it.
Oh yes, I would prefer not to. Brilliant. What an end.
Good
Okay,
night,
see you later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.